You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Tonight. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you are all doing and living well. Welcome to the show. Tonight on Winning Tonight, we'll talk about Kash Patel's confirmation. Mitch McConnell taking off. He's getting out of there. He's running for his life. And we got some news on Agenda 2030 and other things. But first, let me start by thanking all those awesome people in the Winner's Circle. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You guys make it happen. And also, big thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who support us over on Rumble as well. We're broadcasting live tonight, of course, on Rumble X and YouTube. And away we go. All right. Guys, how's it going out there? Good day to all. Good day to all. A little late start, but that's all right. 7:30, 8 o'clock. We're somewhere in there, all right? We're somewhere in there. Hang on a second. If that helps. It should. All right. Cool. Okay. Who's out there? Who's my VIPs in the front row this evening? MJ. MJ is in first. How you doing, MJ? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for holding down the Rumble side. Heidi, how are you doing over there? Wolfram, how are you doing? Thank you for dropping these links, my friend. Remember, when you're here to always listen to the Wolf, he knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, he lips in, and he howls. And that's how you know the Alpha Mod is in the house. All right. We got all kind of hi. Look at there's Daisy Girl Williams dancing sideways. She's having a good time. How you doing, Daisy Girl Williams? What have you been up to? I hope you're doing well out there. Somewhere in that crowd, somewhere probably near the front door is Shelly. Shelly talking trash too. She's out there somewhere. Saying hello to everybody. She's on all the platforms. She's everywhere. She's everywhere you want to be and more. And guys, we are off. Thank you for being the VIPs in the front row this evening. And we'll be waiting for our other friends to show up as they always do. All right. So, guys, is it getting colder or what? That's good. I like it. You see, she's here. There she is. She's doing promos. She's on the Rumble side right now doing her thing. I did get all my promos out, didn't I? Okay. Let's see. Hang on. There for a second as we get straight in the house. There we go. That's about right. That's about right. Okay. Make sure everything's running on all sides. And we got that going on. Rumble, what's up out there, Rumble? Thank you, guys. We're up to 641 on Rumble. Thank you so much. And we are still grinding down to 4,800 here on the YouTube side. So let's get it done. We'll get there. It's all about quality over quantity here. And so slowly but steady and surely we get to the places we need to be when we're supposed to be there. That's the beauty part. That is the beauty part. All right. Let's see. Make sure that that's going all right. Make sure that that's going all right. Yes, yes, and yes. Good, good, good. All right. And guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? Wolfram got out of jury duty without having to go. That's good news, right? That's awesome. Completely awesome. Yeah, and that's about it right now. I guess tomorrow or soon we'll be having the swearing-in ceremony for Kash Patel. Big news of the day. As you can tell by the thumbnail, he did pass his confirmation 51 to 49, and no need for tie break. We got it in. So let's quickly, if we can, yes, we can. Of course we can. We put our mind to it, we get it done. Let's quickly run down the dream team. I think we got 100% confirmation here. So the All-Star Cabinet reads as the following: Pam Bondi, Attorney General; Marco Rubio, Secretary of State; Kash Patel, Director of FBI; Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence; John Ratcliffe, Director of CIA; Pete Hegseth, whose book we'll be starting to read here on Unrig the Game Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I think I'm going to move it to 7:30, so that'll be a little bit of a change, just to stay consistent. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yes, Kennedy is back in the White House. Secretary of Health and Human Services. Russell Vaught is the Director of Office of Management and Budget. Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security. Scott Bassett, Secretary of Treasury. Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary. Doug Burgum, Secretary of the Interior. Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation. Lee Zeldin, Administrator of APA. Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture. Scott Turner, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Doug Collins, awesome dude from Georgia, Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Chris Wright, Secretary of Energy. Kelly Loeffler, Small Business Administration. And Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education. There it is, guys. And we can go ahead and add in a lot of the unelected positions that got in as well that are part of the dream team, like Elon Musk with Doge and Kelly. Hold on, who's our press secretary again? What's her name? Caroline Levitt. Yes, that's her. So there you go. All stars. This is a great team. I think they all really like each other. I think they are having a great time, and they are making America great together. Again, together. Oh yes, it's the 2025 cast of Friends. There we go. No BS. I don't detect if there's any swamp in there that they're reformed. So at this point, but I don't detect much at all. We shall see. We'll keep our eyes on everybody. We'll follow their progress right here on Winning Reality as we make sure that we stay informed and are up to date on everything possible. And yeah, there it is. You guys excited about 100% roll-in? Man, this is so different from 2016. No BS and no shills. So I'm pretty happy about this, and we are looking forward to having a great run here in Trump's second administration. So here we have it. There we are, and good for us. All right, hang on a second. All right, that's our roll-in here. And we're gonna do it through a bunch of different stuff tonight, but we want to start with our main story here. Get kind of speeding up tonight, maybe tonight, as we got another show tomorrow night, but I got some stuff in store for us, some major news, top news and updates. Sir Frank Otter, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And we'll run through the top news and some important other important news as well. Let me just refresh this and stop that. All right. There. I've learned to be patient with the refresh. There we go. Much better. And I swear to God, there was another one. I'll find it. Let me go back to the playlist. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of organization here. Needs to be done. And let me sort this by newest. There we go. Boom. Okay. There we have it. And we'll just get it back straight. Give me 1 second here, guys. There we go. All right. Now I got it all ready for you. Up here. We're gonna go run through some of the latest from US from Doge and what they've been doing. And we're also going to There we go. Perfect. All right. All right. Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm all set now, guys. I'm all set. Thank you for being here this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you. And make sure you hit the like button. Let's see. What time is it right now? 8. Let's see if we can hit a goal tonight. Yeah. I don't know whether these goals here. Let's start one anyways. See how we do. All right. And we got that excitement going in the crowd. Cool. All right. Woohoo. Let's go. All right. So to start off this evening, let's hit the top story of the world right now. Top story in the world. Here we go. And off we go.
All right, we have an FBI director, Kash Patel, getting 51 votes in a Senate-wide confirmation vote just a moment ago to 49 noes, which means that 2 Republican senators did not vote for him. For that and more, let's go to senior correspondent Chad Pergram, who's following all the moves on Capitol Hill. Chad?
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51 to 49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no, but there were 2 GOP no's. Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51-49. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than 1 GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back to Pete Hegseth in late January, who got 3 GOP no's, Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell, and Vance had to break the tie to confirm Hegseth as the defense secretary. But he's been confirmed, and now the Senate goes on to the budget debate. This establishes the framework for the president's domestic policy agenda. That's something they'll be getting into in just the next couple of minutes. Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator from South Carolina, who is the chairman of the budget committee, speaking right now, and they will have what they call a vote-a-rama on the Senate floor, where they vote, and did I say they vote? They will be doing this all night long as they set up this framework for the president's budget proposal.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Kash Patel.
Greg Foreman, y'all.
The next FBI director. Yes, that's right. Democrats should be afraid. The deep state should be afraid. Kash Patel is the next director of the FBI. Okay, and Democrats are panicking about this.
Hi, hey, Kenny, what's up? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
They were protesting outside of the FBI building over Kash Patel potentially being confirmed, which he did end up getting confirmed.
This is someone we cannot trust. This is someone who lacks the character to do this job.
This guy's projecting like you wouldn't believe.
Lacks the integrity to do this job. We know that. Our Republican colleagues.
We should just call him Adam Projector. That should be his name, Adam Projector. And let's see. Yes, MJ, I agree with you 100%. In fact, we've been saying this for quite a while here, is that the 2020, as bad as it sucked, was a blessing in disguise. Because look at it now. Look how great things are now, right? And you nailed it on the head. You nailed it.
Know that the only qualification Kash Patel has to be FBI director is that when everyone else in the first Trump administration said, no, I won't do that, that crosses moral, ethical, and legal lines, Kash Patel said, sign me up.
I can't wait till this guy's gone. I can't. And I hope he goes out in a blaze of glory. I hope it is just like, behind bars, broke, and everything else that could possibly go wrong for somebody, because he is complete garbage. He's an abusive person, and he needs to be punished for it.
In the first Trump administration, as we are seeing in the second, you rise to the level of your sycophancy, and no one is a bigger or more dangerous sycophant than Kash Patel. This political hack does not deserve to be in this building.
What are you saying that to the FBI director?
He won't protect the public. He will misuse the resources of the Bureau. He will weaponize it against the president's political opponents rather than protecting the safety, the public safety of the American people.
And this is like this is what you call a slippery slope fallacy, right? So he takes something and then he puts together a false scenario, a chain of events, right? And it's always agenda driven. That's the one thing you can tell about a slippery slope fallacy. There's always an agenda behind it, and the chain of events is supposed to invoke fear, and that's all he has ever done. He's a walking fallacy, and I can't wait till his day comes and his due is paid, because he is he's a scumbag. Snipe, what's up? How you doing out there? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. And what broke that we're going to talk about right now is Adam Schiff met with a whistleblower. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump. Talk about someone who was conflicted out of the game, because he was part of the hoax that brought Charmella in, manufactured that false accusation, and then peddled it out to the world. And he continued, not surprising. He's lied about almost everything in his life. But now he lied just to set up a presidential impeachment. And that's what I was talking about, these disinformation campaigns. And then he should be investigated, because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who is a whistleblower, and I can't stress this enough, that started a presidential impeachment. Now, your history is way better than mine, but I can't remember the last time a president was actually impeached. It's a significant process and escalation, and it's reserved for the time when it actually shows a crime, not when it shows the manufacture of fake information to show a fake crime. The guy that found and manufactured the evidence with Charmella was the prosecutor in the case against the target of the investigation. That is the ultimate, from a prosecutorial standpoint, conflict of interest. But he knew what he was doing.
Like I said, he's a
walking
walking fallacy.
And I think thanks to, I think it was John Solomon and his fantastic reporting, we now see what I've been saying for years, that I thought he met with him for sure, and it will come out, and it now has.
Yeah, so Democrats are afraid, as they should be, okay, because FBI Director Kash Patel has vowed to restore trust in the Bureau and to hunt down bad actors in every corner of this planet, okay? He says that, quote, I am honored to be confirmed as the 9th director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Nice.
Patel told Fox News Digital,
That's
thank you,
great
President
news.
Donald Trump and Attorney General
Celebrate,
Pam
guys.
Bondi for their unwavering confidence and
Celebrate.
support. Quote, the FBI has a storied legacy from the G-Man to safeguarding our nation in the wake of 9/11. Patel said, quote, the American people deserve an FBI that is transparent, accountable, and committed to justice. The politicization of our justice system has eroded public trust, but that ends today, he added. Patel told Fox News Digital that his mission as FBI director is clear. Quote, let good cops be cops, he said, and rebuild trust in the FBI, working alongside the dedicated men and women of the Bureau and our partners. We will rebuild an FBI the American people can be proud of, Patel said. And Patel issued a stark warning, quote, to those who seek
hey,
harm
Paul,
Americans,
what's up? How
consider
you
this
doing?
your
Good to
warning.
see you.
Patel said, we will hunt you down in every corner of this planet. He added, mission first, America always, let's get to work. Yeah, so good to say about it myself, right? Kash Patel,
that is
now
Kash, 100%.
Your FBI director. And surprisingly, Mitch McConnell actually voted for this, right? He actually voted yes, which is a surprise, because Mitch McConnell has been trying to stop President Trump and his nominees from being confirmed. Okay, that is his last act of public arrangement. So it seems, he's retiring, right? He's also retiring. He announced that he will not seek re-election anymore. I believe Mitch McConnell's like 83, 84 at this point. He's basically a walking corpse. Okay, he has 1 foot on the grave and 1 foot on the banana peel, because he's falling all over the place. Okay, plus his ass at Senate lunches, right, on the Senate floor, humiliating himself and the country. Okay, it is embarrassing to have leadership this old and this frail.
It really is.
And that's why I'm happy that he has announced that he's retiring, right? That he's calling it quits. He can't do it anymore.
Too much attention to today's date, February 20th. But I figured my birthday would be as good a day as any to share with our colleagues a decision I made last year.
Oh, good.
During my time in the Senate, I've only really answered to 2 constituencies.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
The Republican Conference and the people of Kentucky. Representing our Commonwealth has been
Kentucky gets some grace back
of a lifetime. I will not seek this honor an 8th time.
Thank God.
My current term in the Senate will be my last.
Yeah, so finally it's over for Mitch, right? It is over for Mitch McConnell. Now Nancy Pelosi needs to follow along as well too. Right? She needs to retire.
Maxine.
Okay, all of these fossils, these dinosaurs. Okay, if you're 80 plus years old in the Senate or in the House, in Congress, you need to go, right? You got to go. Okay, you're too old. Okay, Mitch should have been gone. After Obama, right? When Obama left office, that's when Mitch should have left office, because his time was up. Okay, his time was up. And that brings me to a conversation about Mitch McConnell's legacy, because I think that his legacy
all right,
is
Kenny, do better next time.
And the reason why I say that is because Mitch McConnell is an individual that I consider a political genius back in the Obama days, because he single-handedly basically stop the Democrats and their agenda under Obama. Okay, Obama did not get a lot of things done that they wanted to get done, literally because of Mitch McConnell, especially when you talk about the courts, okay, and stacking the courts with conservative justices. Yeah, that was Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell had a lot to do that because he blocked a lot of President Obama's nominees towards the end of his term, which left the courts open, a lot of seats open for President Trump to then come in and to appoint conservative judges. Okay, so I think that's probably one of the biggest parts of his legacy. Okay, I think his legacy also has
that
to do
right, Paul.
with Citizens United.
Got that right.
And just being a GOP leader that I think mastered the art of being the opposition party, which I think has its pros and cons. But
thank you,
Mitch McConnell
Frank
was
Otter.
amazing at standing against the Democrats. What he wasn't amazing at, in my opinion, is standing for something, right? He had an opportunity to use his political genius that he once had to actually, I don't know, stand for the America First agenda, and he didn't do that, right? He actually stood against President Trump during his first term. Mitch McConnell was a huge pain in the ass. And I think that is when Mitch McConnell's legacy really started to go downhill, okay? As CNN had some bad news to report about Mitch McConnell and his approval, because it seems as if literally nobody likes the guy, Democrat or Republican. Take a look.
Talk a little bit about Mitch McConnell and the chance he's going to become a folk hero. It ain't going to likely happen. Because I want you to look at his net approval ratings. He is underwater with everybody. He has got the ultimate, or some might say, sad trifecta of being underwater overall. Minus 39 points. 39 percentage points more of the electorate disapproves than approves of the jobs that he has done. How about Democrats? He's 58 points underwater. My goodness gracious, the chance that all of a sudden, just because he cast 3 votes against Trump, that he'd somehow become a folk hero with them is absolutely, frankly, insane. And then with Republicans, of course, he's gone up against Trump before, and that's why he's 17 points underwater with Republicans. When you're underwater with Democrats, Republicans, and overall, the chance that you're going to become a folk hero, it seems rather low to me, Paul.
No, you'll be forgotten.
It does indeed. All right. Of course, the next question is, how does his popularity compare with that of President Trump?
Yeah, so I think Donald Trump.
That girl looks like an actress. I can't figure out which one it is. She looks like one of the actresses that are out there.
Will like these.
But she is an
numbers.
actress.
All right, so let's take a look. This is the net approval rating I got overall, and I got with Republicans. Look how much higher Donald Trump is overall versus Mitch McConnell. Look at that. Trump is on the
you know who
side
she
of
looks
the ledger
like?
at plus.
She looks like Nia Jax's little sister.
3. Mitch McConnell, of course, underwater overall at minus 39. So Trump is 42 points higher than Mitch McConnell is overall. Among Republicans, of course, Donald Trump very popular there with a plus 82 point net approval rating. Of course, Mitch McConnell, again, underwater at minus 17. So you do the math quickly here, 82, 17. That is nearly 100 points higher that Donald Trump is net approval rating wise with Republicans than Mitch McConnell is. The bottom line is that when it comes to the popularity battle, Donald Trump comes out way, way, way ahead of Mitch McConnell.
Okay. But is this just a problem with majority leaders? Is this like a heavy is the head situation?
Yeah, she's like, that's Nia Jax's little sister. That's what I see.
I mean, put this into historical context. Where does he stack up against other majority leaders?
Yeah, I always like going through the history books, right? I love spreadsheets. I love history books. So let's go take a look through the history books.
Really? You should. I can recommend some books for you if you like books, because if you read them, you might not want to be on CNN anymore.
Take a look at the net popularity ratings of GOP Senate leaders, their final ratings as majority leaders. Take a look here. Mitch McConnell, again, underwater at minus 39 points. How about his predecessor, Dr. Bill Frist from the great state of Tennessee? He was underwater too, but he was only at minus 8 points. Trent Lott was at plus 5 points from the great state of Mississippi. And of course, Bob Dole from the great state of Kansas. He was above water as well at plus 6 points. So the bottom line is Mitch McConnell, a historical anomaly when it comes to Republican leaders. He is far, far, far more underwater than any of the past GOP leaders over the last 40 years, Paula.
And I don't think that would have been the case had he retired back in 2016, right? If he hung it up when he should have hung it up, then I don't think that his approval would be this bad, right? And that's why I think when you have this legacy conversation about Mitch McConnell, it's kind of complicated, because I think we're having a different conversation had he retired back in 2016, okay, 10 years ago. He stayed way too long, and it ended up hurting his legacy, especially amongst Republicans, right? I mean, he could have went down low-key as a legend, so to speak, right? In regards to, again, perfecting the art of how to be an opposition party. But at the same time, the fact that he stayed too long, and because of his Trump derangement and his commitment to the establishment neocon agenda under Trump, he ruined his legacy. And now, basically, both sides don't like him, right? Both sides hate him. That's essentially where he's at right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I think that this should be a lesson to these politicians. Hey, you should probably get out after you've been there for too long, right? If you've been there for more than 2 decades, you might want to think about retiring, because the longer that you stay, the more likely it is that you can ruin your legacy. And I think that's exactly what Mitch McConnell did. So, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective.
Peace. All right. So there you go. There is the big news of the day. And I'd like to show you something. Where is it at? Did I lose it here? Oh, I might have. Oh, there's something on this page, anyways. Where is it at? It was a beautiful picture. I just wanted to show you something. Let's see if I can find it. Oh my God. Some of these. I am, I'm firmly in the, UFO Twitter, UAP X rabbit hole on X now. So I have to like sort through all kinds of stuff. But I have found a lot of people that are actually fighting the grift out there. So that's good stuff. But now I got to scroll back down and try to find the freaking. Did I save it? Let me see if I saved it. It would have been smart if I did. Let's see. 25. Nope, I didn't. All right. Next time I'll remember to save it. And let me keep looking. I want to show you this. Oh man, this is so good. I hope I find it. Just had a good bit to go with it. I think I did. I guess there's a faster way to do this than just try to scroll back and remember where I saw it. Nope, wasn't it? No, all right, somewhere around here. Oh boy. All right, let me try it this way. Oh wait, did I? Oh, here it is. I put it on my front page. See, I knew I did something with it. I knew I did something. And by the way, guys, look, we have to face the facts here, man. Racism, it's a real thing. And white supremacy is a real thing. I mean, look at these white supremacists out there trying to block Kash Patel. Look at all these guys. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at all of them. Look at all these racist white supremacists, all 5 of them out there trying to block Kash Patel today. And look at all the support they're getting. It's amazing. It's overwhelming. And oh yeah, it's real. It's real. Okay, so that was totally worth the wait, wasn't it? If it wasn't for President Wilson, the senators would be changed far more often, as they wouldn't be chosen via normal elections, but by the legislative branches of states. I hope that would work out. I mean, are we doing better than the legislative branches of states? What if a state gets taken over by a bunch of crazy people, and the legislation goes crazy, and then all of a sudden we got a bunch of crazy senators? I go back and forth on this one, Paul. I'm not sure which way is the best way to go on this. I guess I'd rather have it in everybody's hands and have to deal with potential fraud, and then have a embedded state legislator that keeps putting out awful people, and that kind of worries me a little bit. And this is one reason why it worries me. Right here, let me show you. I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you for the awesome transition to this story right here. That already happens in blue states. Well, yeah, and here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Stacey Abrams, she's known as like the Bigfoot of Georgia, right? She's one of those mythical creatures that people spot all over the place. And what she does is she goes around and steals votes, right? And she creates them out of nowhere. She has mythical powers of trying to. She can just like she eats like a pile of hamburgers, and then a bunch of votes for Democrats just come shooting out of her ass. And that's the legend of Stacey Abrams here. She's very power hungry, right? And so the Stacey Abrams scam uncovered by Doge. Oh, I love it. I love it when they go after power hungry Stacey Abrams. Doge found $2 billion in taxpayer dollars designed for a fledgling nonprofit called Power Hungry Forward Communities, which had close ties to Democrat Stacey Abrams, who will always fail, at least at trying to achieve office. The Power Forward Community was only a few months old with just $100 in the bank when it received the $2 billion grant in 2024. What are you talking about? Really? Let's get that money back. On their website, they listed partnerships with 2 other nonprofits, both founded by the mythical Stacey Abrams. Abrams also served as senior counsel for Rewiring America. Tell me you are trying to brainwash people without telling me you're trying to brainwash them and program them. An organization that led a coalition of groups, including power-hungry forward communities. And there she is. Yeah, if you see this thing coming at you, run. All right, it will eat you and it will steal your vote. So get away from it. Look at that. Oh yeah, $2 billion fund earmarked for Stacey Abrams. Sorry, Stacey, you ain't getting it. And I hope Kash comes after your ass too, because we all down here in the South, we all know that you are a fraud and a con artist and a cheater and a scumbag, corrupt individual. And I can't wait till the day comes where I never have to hear about the legend of Stacey Abrams ever again. So yeah, that's the kind of thing I worry about when I say we'll put it in the state legislator's hand. Although we've managed to do decently here on our state legislator, but I mean, when you got that scam already, proven method scam, and a little bit of taking your eye off the ball, and someone like that squirms back in and is able to do nasty things behind the scene. That's why we can't take our foot off the gas, nor can we take our eyes off what's going on ever again. I hope we've all learned a lesson about that when we do that, bad things happen. And we got to do more than just remember it ourselves. We got to teach it to our kids, and we got to remember the stories that help them remember and tell their kids. We have to make sure that we are always doing our best to never ever let this happen again. And it's going to take a few different methodologies to get that done. But one of them that's solely up to us is that we tell the stories, right? And that we make sure that kids remember why, when it's their time and they get their vote, why it's important for them to understand what's going on, even though for someone in that young in life, it's, they don't want to spend the kind of time, they don't have the kind of time to spend like we do. And they don't want to spend the time unless they get really involved in politics. They don't want to spend the time messing with this stuff. And that's how people slide into the establishment narrative. So we have to tell the stories right, and we have to look at all the good things that have happened since. And this is why we don't want to ever let people like this in again. And also back down to education, right? Teaching them logic and how to detect logical fallacies and how to detect subversion, things like that will keep them and how to pass that information and that knowledge along, and that it's mandatory that they do. They have to do that. And that'll keep us nice, safe, and clean, and living in prosperity and great and safety for many, many generations to come. And it'll keep the cultural Marxists at bay as best it can. We got angry vote squatch. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't see how that could affect its legislature measures state government picking who would be going to the Senate. Hell, if it was how it was before President Wilson, then my state of Michigan would have had a few Republican senators over the past few decades instead of only Democrats going into the Senate. I don't know. I just worry about corruption, and people generally, like, they pay more attention to the federal level than they do the state level. And so, and that's the thing, right? It's like, I can't even tell you, like, I can tell you the governor. I can't tell you a lot of the state legislation at all, or if I even know them. That's one where I generally just, go, because I'm really focused on the federal level, and then I go and I vote on, down ballot on state stuff. If I even get the heads up that there's a state thing going on. So I don't doubt you, Paul. I don't doubt you. But that's for me. I know that, the average person doesn't even keep up with the federal level shit. Like state, the state level stuff is like, whoa, who the hell are these people? But can you even tell them the difference between them, right? Shelly and I were talking before the show, and she was like, all of a sudden I know all these senators and their names, and whether they're senators or congressmen, or I could tell by even their voice, even their faces, and that was something I didn't know many years ago, right? Like just a couple of years ago, and now I know it because she's been hanging out with me and focusing on this stuff, right? And now she sees it and sees it and sees it. But yeah, just taking it into consideration. I don't know. Let's see. My state legislation branch changes hands all the time. Local is just as important. Yeah, local is very important. I'm not disputing anything you're saying. 2 years ago, yeah, in 2 years she's come around. But before that, she was like da 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 da. You know, in my state, we can tell the difference between which party has power. You can tell the difference. We can tell the difference between which party has power in my state. No doubt. Well, in my state, we kind of had the power, Republicans, but then they didn't do a good job in 2020, which I guess is a blessing in disguise. But you saw all the shenanigans that went on in Georgia, and they didn't come through for us, you know, and they were supposedly they should have, right? But different day, different time, and you know, it all has to improve together. The fish rots from the head down, so it also means that it cures from the head down. I don't know. It means it's fresh from the head down. How do you reverse the old fish rots from the head down statement? Oh no, my eyes are starting to twitch. All right. Okay, so yeah, I covered that. What is this good? Oh, that's from a couple of days ago. I got that. All right, good. All right. So as we talk about corrupt establishments and things that they're doing here, let me see if I want to put this right here or if I want to move it up. Okay, I think this is a good order here. Let's go. I try to bring you the best creators I can find to share the stage here. And like I said, I think there's some attorneys out there that are just phenomenal, that do phenomenal work, and there's some that just don't really do phenomenal work. And two of my favorites are the lead attorney and Robert Gouveia, and he's bright light, so I'm gonna be like chilling over here. Oh, that's not him. Stop it. Told you my eyes were twitching out. Right on time. Got a nice little dot right in front of my eyes. Okay, here it is. Okay. He's bright light, so I'm gonna chill. But Toledo is a crap roller. Though my money would have been on Michigan. Okay, Michigan won that one. We're talking about something here. Okay. Let's go. All right, Robert. The Trump defies court order pushes forward with funding cuts. Yeah.
That analysis, since we've been working hard over weekends, it has confirmed that at least substantially all of the terminations, all suspensions and stop work orders were allowed based on the terms of those instruments. Oh, isn't that sweet?
The people who go to work every day to fight for them are being fired illegally in what is just...
It's not illegal. We just looked at 15 different statutes that allow them to do that. The funding cancellations will continue. An official memo hit the courts in the District of Columbia, D.C. This is the case where the judge said that you have to cut off the funding for USAID, or rather return the funding back. Stop the cuts, bring the money back. And so the judge in this case is called AIDS and Global Health Council. This is in Judge Amir's courtroom, and he is, of course, another Democrat judge out of the District of Columbia. But what is happening here is the Trump Justice Department is saying, we are still cutting things, okay? We're still canceling things. I know you ordered us not to do that, but your order is only related to one executive order, and we're not using that executive order to cancel anything. We're using all of these other powers and provisions to do it. So yeah, we're not canceling anything pursuant to what you said we can use. We're not using that. We're using this, and the canceling is continuing. So just deal with it. Here's what the memo looks like. It says, look, all right, court, to the District of Columbia Judge Amir, says the court entered an order restraining Rubio, Morocco, and Russell Vought and the Department of State and USAID from enforcing the memo and the executive order. Okay, Trump issues an executive order. They issue a memo from the State Department. The judge says, you can't do any of those things. Section 1, Section 5, Section 7, Section 8, Section 9. Can't do any of that. And he said, oh, okay, well, we're not going to use any of the powers in those documents to do the things. So we're not going to implement any of that. However, we've got a lot of other power here in the executive branch. This was all related to stop work orders, terminations, basically undo everything you did and bring these people back. So the court noted to Trump and their attorneys, they said, well, in the hearing, the court said some contracts at issue may include terms that allow them to be modified or terminated in certain circumstances. And remember, as we were going through this, we're like, man, there's no teeth in any of these, because the judges kept coming back out and saying, well, if there's other laws that allow you to do that, then you can. The judge even said in certain circumstances. And we were here going, oh, great. They're going to find about a million other circumstances that justify it. And they did. So Trump's people say the court even concluded. They said it would be overbroad to stop Trump from taking action if the contracts allow him to. So the court then ordered that nothing in this order, they wrote it, nothing in this order shall prohibit Trump from enforcing the terms of contracts or grants, right? So in other words, if they find something in the contract that allows them to cancel it, they can use it. Now, in addition, the court ordered Trump to take all necessary steps to effectuate this and to provide written notice to all recipients who got this money. And finally, the court said, file a status report. That's what we're doing now. They say, all right, Your Honor, listen, we've worked diligently to comply with your order. We even worked during the 2 business days and 3-day holiday weekend that have passed since you told us to do this. And we're attaching declaration from Peter that we'll read next. They say Mr. Morocco's declaration also explains that the department and USAID issued directions to the contracting officers to get all this work done over the holiday. We're working hard for you, Judge. Now, additionally, in light of your order that you told us to stop following the memo and the executive order, the Department of State have begun analysis of the thousands of contracts, grants, and other cooperative agreements on which action was taken during the almost 4 weeks between the issuance of the executive order and the court's order. Okay, so we found other reasons. We're looking into the actual contracts. They say the department and USAID have endeavored to determine the effect of the court's TRO and the effect of the exception that you gave us permission to use. And so thus far, this is beautiful, that analysis, since we've been working hard over weekends, it has confirmed that at least substantially all of the terminations, all suspensions and stop work orders were allowed based on the terms of those instruments. Oh, isn't that sweet? And the terms implicitly incorporated into the instrument. So they're like, okay, you can't use the State Department memo or Trump's executive order to cancel the contracts. But if the contracts themselves say that you can cancel them, then you can cancel them. They said, okay, great. Let us just look at all the contracts. They looked at all of them. They all have that subsection G that allows them to cancel it. They all have it. Hey, great. So perfect. Thanks, Judge. USAID has not yet identified a termination, suspension, or work order that was not allowed. So we haven't found anything that we've canceled that we shouldn't have canceled according to other permissive portions of the law. So Trump's parallel analysis, and we called it independent source, right? We were saying they have independent sources for all of this, shows that a large share of the terminations and suspensions and stop work orders was allowed by those instrument terms, or they were incorporated into those instruments. So we're allowed to do what we did, and we did. We've identified 70 contracts and 6,800 grants suspended, or on which a stop work order has already been issued, where the contract or money left and right may not expressly authorize a suspension or stop work order. So given the number of contracts, reviews ongoing is a lot. Nevertheless, the department understands it is entitled to terminate each of these contracts and grants under the express terms of those contracts. Now, to the extent there are instruments that do not explicitly or implicitly address this, the department likewise understands it may terminate, suspend, or issue stop work on those under its own authorities, independent of any other authorities that Trump said that you have now under the executive order. So we're doing it anyways because we have other powers to do it. So thank you for stalling that one piece of paper, but we're going to use that piece of paper and that one to do it. As was true before the court's order, the Department of State and USAID continue to disperse substantial funding for foreign assistance. He says, we intend to disperse more than $250 million just this week. So stop your crying. Plenty of money's going out. The court's order permits Trump to exercise their rights under the terms, and we're canceling them. Now, the court order, however, appears to be silent on the exercise of authorities under statutes, regulations, and other legal authorities. Now, we have not read the TRO to stop us from using other law, Judge, right? So you said we can't use the memo. We're not using the memo, but there's tons of other laws that we're using. We perceive no meaningful difference between exercising authority conferred either by the contracts, by the grants, or other cooperative agreements, or other statutes or legal authorities. So if other laws allow us to do it, we're doing it. Now, out of an abundance of caution, Judge, we're also bringing this point to the court's attention. This judge is going to be pissed, but he can't do anything, right? Because his order was so stupid in the first place. It's not his prerogative to stop Trump from doing these things.
And
to the extent that Trump's understanding of the court's order is incorrect, like if you wanted us to also violate other laws that allow us to do these things, or if you were incorrect in your own language in your order, saying that we can't cancel things pursuant to the contracts, even though you said you could, we ask the court to modify your order or permit us to file an appropriate motion. So don't get.
So, hey, guys. Long story short, things are moving forward. And there you go. And they're moving forward in a great way. Oh, man. You hate to see this. You really do hate to see this. You really hate to see all these heartbroken, depressed IRS agents out of business. Do ya?
That's enough. Not that garbage that is currently there. 6,000 IRS employees to be fired as DOGE continues sweeping slashes. The IRS is expected to begin firing thousands of workers this week, as it is
the rest of them they're reassigned to the border.
On the latest target of DOGE as the Trump administration moves to shrink the federal workforce. Look, again, people are people. Like, I get it. The thing is, I'm not celebrating any
more Adderall for you
losing their job, and I hope that these people all get a reasonable severance, maybe even above reasonable. Give them.
I don't. Screw them. You're fired. Anyway, 6,000 IRS employees to be fired as DOGE continues sweeping slashes. The IRS is expected to begin firing thousands of workers this week as it becomes the latest target of DOGE. As the Trump administration moves to shrink the federal workforce, the agency responsible for collecting taxes will be cutting 6,000 employees starting on Thursday. That's the day. All right. Goodbye. This effort is expected to impact mostly recent hires in the IRS, which, yeah, that's a good thing too. As the Trump administration has started to slash mostly probationary workers across a series of agencies who do not enjoy the same job protections as more seasoned colleagues who better get their acts together. It comes as in the midst of tax filing season, which is a scam. So don't, and take your time with that, or maybe take a year off, which has sparked concerns about how it could impact Americans dealing with the IRS in the weeks and the months to come. I don't think so. If you got money coming to you, file and get it. If you owe money, tell them to take a flying leap. Some Democrats and former IRS officials have warned cutting workers could lead to longer waits for Americans getting to get information that could potentially impact the wait time and receiving tax refunds. Well, I mean, they shouldn't have been taking the tax money in the first place, right? So you'll get your money back eventually. Hang in there, and make them pay. Make them pay you back. But otherwise, if you want your you want to pay for the past the corruption and all that stuff, that's on you. I think that they need to get rid of the IRS, and I think that's coming. I do. I really do think that we're moving towards that that day. And but like, just to kind of strengthen that argument, let's take a look at this right here. I don't know what this is. I thought it looked interesting. I haven't reviewed it entirely, but I think that as soon as the YouTube wants to catch up, it will, and it will. There we go. Okay. It will. Let's take a look at this thing and see what the hell that is.
We're going to hang out and watch a movie. I'm going to take some pictures. And I'll pay you.
Yes, I think I know where we're going with this.
always seems much deeper than you think. The rabbit hole goes and goes and goes and goes, seemingly forever. And to really put that into perspective, Elon Musk and the rest of his team have already moved on to the Treasury Department. They're looking into Fort Knox and other things. But I'm still caught up on this USAID thing. Even though USAID is actually a very small government department, or it was a small government department, considering I don't even think it exists anymore. It's being absorbed by the State Department. But anyways, even though it's a small department, there's just so much behind the curtain. And you guys are not going to believe how deep USAID corruption goes. Well, yes, you will. But anyways, just stay with me. Stick with me here. We already know about all the woke stuff, the Politico and Reuters payments, but now it just got even worse and even more bizarre as some seemingly connected leftoid individual just openly admitted in an interview how wasteful some of these USAID dollars were being spent. You are not going to believe what they were spending your taxpayer dollars on. And let me show you guys exactly what I mean.
This is like, this is again, for not just now, not last year, for decades. For decades. That's a remedy. That's a situation like that, even though we're going to hear about maybe a little partial, like, I'm sorry, President coming for us. That's not enough. I'm sorry. I'm not going to settle for it. Hey, Jacob Castro, what's up? Not going to settle for it. Not going to be bought off. You can't buy off decades of corruption and then let the people who did it get away and then us continue to have to suffer for it. Not going to happen. Sorry. There will be much noise made about this. The only remedy is to abolish income tax and all past and future endeavors when it comes to that.
By that, we got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So like most stories these days, we're leading with an Elon Musk tweet as he points out another very peculiar, bizarre clip. Take a look at this.
Here is Rory Stewart explaining his connection to USAID.
Stopped. Doesn't matter. You have a contract. So, Turquoise Mountain, which my wife Shoshana runs, has a contract. Had another $1 million to go. Money just stops.
Oh, hold on. Wait, there's a contract between some organization and USAID, and the contract stopped. And hold on, his wife ran that organization, and they were supposed to get another $1 million. Another $1 million?
Where's my $1 million?
Dollars from the U.S. government, and that just stopped. What organization does his wife run? It's called the Turquoise Mountain Foundation.
That's really nice.
The Turquoise Mountain Foundation exists to teach Afghani peasants about degenerate modern art.
So this is in some ways often called the first piece of conceptual art.
Oh, yeah. Look how beautiful it is. Yes, this is art. And it only costs $1 million to teach people how to appreciate a toilet. How about that? Isn't that beautiful? Yes. So yeah, keep paying income tax.
I don't expect the ladies to know. Exactly. An artist called Marcel Duchamp.
Look at these people.
Very important in Western art.
This woman is a grifter. All right, she's convincing Afghani women to appreciate a urinal flipped upside down with some writing on it. Do you get it?
Put this toilet in an art gallery about 100 years ago.
That's where your money's going. Your money is going, or was going until Trump got hold of it, to pay off the wives of British politicians turned Yale professors.
They got to show up.
Afghanis who probably have more important things on their mind about how...
Oh, look, today, what did you learn today, honey? I learned that toilet upside down is art to Americans.
Oh, perverse Western anti-artists decided to pretend that urinals...
This is not real art. It's like he said, Michael Knowles here said, it's anti-art, it's anti-beauty, it's anti-symmetry, it's the destruction of culture, it's cultural Marxism, destroying everything beautiful, it's evil, inverting it and destroying everything that's symmetrical and beautiful, and convincing people that what is not is. It's complete subversion, it's mind control. And where's my $1 million? And this guy's worried about his $1 million. Meanwhile, some of us are struggling to make ends meet, right? Some of us are like fighting every day for every dollar. And but they get $1 million to go teach people in another country how to appreciate a toilet. I am with you, Paul, on the backdooring going on here, but I don't care. The premise that they're operating under is ridiculous, and that's the premise we're going to take them down with as well. However, the money is still $1 million any way you slice it, and it's still our $1 million any way you slice it. And any way you slice it, most of us are struggling, while assholes like that who are subverting people and running a cover up or something else, are profiting and living well. They're living better than all of us with their $1 million coming out of our pockets. We're paying them to shit and to piss in people's ears, basically, in other countries, and to launder money and do other things, to be mules for corruption. And we struggle. I mean, we struggle. It's to the point where it's, people can't even afford to do the small things they want to do, right? And so while we sit here and we take care of each other and we try to do our best to get by, the worst amongst us thrive on our labor. And that's why I'm saying that, the income tax, it's done. It has to go.
Toilets.
I mean, more than in the Fed, it's in the income tax, because everything that we have given over the course of our lifetime has been used for the wrong things.
Or, Caravaggio paintings in the early 20th century.
I showed this clip to a couple people, some of my friends and some of the colleagues here at the Liberal Hive Mind, and I made sure to do it while I was in a call with them so I could be there to see their reaction. And I kid you not, everybody had the exact same reaction as me. 3 letters. WTF. Everybody was totally shocked and basically said the exact same thing. I mean, try to wrap your head around this. Millions of dollars spent showing what is titled degenerate modern art to Afghani women. You literally cannot make this up. These people took your hard-earned tax dollars just to fly out to Afghanistan so they could sit down with Afghani women who are deeply devout and religious, I might add, so they could show them toilet bowls with graffiti on them, urinals with graffiti on them. And just to add insult to injury, these are also the same women who now have zero rights under the Taliban thanks to Joe Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Yeah,
a random little factoid aside,
money.
This is beyond parody. Let's just grab a frame from that totally shocking clip. Just look at the expression on their faces as they're shown this modern art urinal. I mean, man, these poor women.
Make them eat a
suckered
salad
into
out
this
of it.
seminar with the promise of a free lunch and then forced to sit through this absolute nonsense. Imagine being in one of the most oppressive societies on earth and being told that the U.S. is here to help. U.S. aid is coming to help.
Can you imagine they walk out of that, man, and just laughing their asses off?
And then you're pulled into a
good night,
PowerPoint
Paul. Thanks for being
presentation
here.
about men's
Take care, buddy.
urinals and the genius French artist behind it. Oh, we're just teaching them art. We're teaching
Wish
art
I could go to
abroad
bed at
and spreading
9
culture.
o'clock.
That's going to make America
There's no
a
way I
safer
could fall
place
asleep
and
this
export
early.
democracy across the globe. How completely freaking idiotic. This is what USA
Maybe
was
one day I
funding.
will.
Now, of course, it's not the totality of what they were funding, but they were funding it nonetheless. And it all leads back to the same point. This level of bloat, inefficiency, and outright corruption in Washington, it's reached a point of crisis at this moment. I'm sharing the same sentiment as Kevin O'Leary here.
I think the issue is they're not whacking enough. There's this concept in private equity when you get a bankrupt company and you go in there, you cut 20% more than your initial read. And then you find like a pool of mercury, the organization gels back together again. Always cut deeper, harder when there's fat and waste. The FAA, it's not the people. The code is cobalt. It's from the 60s.
And then you have like useful idiots, not him, but the other people at this table, most of them. There's a couple good people at that table, but who sit there and just promote it and defend it and run sword and shield for it. They're eating high on the hog too.
It's CapEx put into it for the technology to be upgraded to make it safer. Fat like a chicken. All of these agencies are like big fat chickens dripping over barbecues of fat. This is the best barbecue I've ever
fatty barbecue
seen, but I don't think it's happening fast enough. They're not cutting enough. Keep slashing, keep hacking while you have a 24-month mandate before the midterms. Cut, more cutting. Believe me, it's going to work out just great. Everybody should be happy.
What about gender reassignment surgery?
Clear codes, cut them too. Cut everything. Because if you
Cut it
don't
all.
see what they're doing and they can't show you that they're adding value, you whack.
We're not just talking about trimming some fat. The entire
Cut out the dead
system seems
wood.
to be rigged to waste money, funnel billions upon billions of dollars into slush funds, useless programs, and bureaucratic black holes that serve seemingly zero
And it all
purpose.
comes right
Certainly no
back into
purpose
their
to the American
pocket.
taxpayer.
Believe
There's
that.
no value in these programs.
You can
The
believe
government
that.
seems infested with agencies that are just burning through billions of dollars with no accountability. And the argument on the left is just wild. I was watching CBS's 60 Minutes the other day, and they brought in an expert journalist who had been covering U.S. aid for so long. I can't show you guys the clip because CBS will copyright the whole video, but he uttered the same argument I keep seeing from all these leftoids. It's not fraud, it's democracy. Congress voted on this spending, and they have the sole authority.
Yeah, and does anybody doubt this guy? This guy's ideology? I mean,
to appropriate funds, which, is true, but it feels more like a scapegoat than anything else. It may not be fraud in this case. It may be legitimately allocated money, but it certainly is waste. And when the country is plunging into further and further massive stacking national debt, well, then it's probably time to do something about it. It's probably time for the president to execute some of his executive authority, because there's just no justifying this sort of.
Yep, and that's true. And my point on this video and showing it to you, hey, Blue Lantern, what's up? Welcome to the show. Is to highlight an explanation point, my point about income tax. Like, not only has it been theft, we know that, right? But we've kind of said, all right, well, maybe we're at a point in history and we're kind of putting up with it. And some people get money back. Some people can't afford to do that, and they have to take everything they can when they get the money, right? Some people work on contracts. Some people don't have W-2s. They have 1099s. So what? We're supposed to scrape and take away from our family to make sure that we have, we pay them to work. Like, what does that make sense? And then this is what they do with the money. So I'm saying, next I'm going to show you something here. Let's see. Let's go to this conversation over here. Okay. This one. We're going to go back to this. We're going to get to the Agenda 2030 stuff coming up, because evidently they're trying to still sneak this in, this parallel construction. They're trying to sneak it in, and it's been called out. So we have to be aware of this. So that's coming up next. But what I want to show you now, let's see. Blue Lantern says, I saw a video of Osmond Gold completely glazing Ukraine, was pretty disappointed in him. They've been kidnapping people. Well, who is Osmond Gold? He's a very popular YouTuber. But what is his thing? He used to work in government or something. There's 3 or 4 different big time YouTube creators out there that all look the same. They got long, stringy black hair. They got a beard and a mustache. And literally from their thumbnails, they're just making weird faces in their thumbnails, right? And they're very popular, and people they fight each other to super chat them all night long. And I don't think they add much value. They just give opinion, right? And I don't understand why their opinion is more valuable than other people's. I really don't get it. I mean, I like Osmond, and I'm not trying to dog him. I'm just saying the whole gimmick, and he's friends with Elon, had some trauma with Elon. The only reason Elon knows him is because he's got big sub numbers, right? And he's able to sustain himself doing this full time. And he's able to hire a staff, I'm sure, to help him and all that shit. He's probably living pretty damn good. But yeah, so him, what does he know about the fucking Ukraine, man? He's not even a political channel. This is a political channel for the most part. We're on top of this initiative to really fix the system and to be part of this ongoing effort to weed out and overturn the corruption and to beat the elitists, to beat the globalists, to beat the people who want to rule over us, the authoritarians. I mean, this is the mission of this channel. Winning reality is about winning our reality from them, right? And I'm just sidetracking here because some days are easier than others around here, but and then he goes out and says something stupid like that. It just shows how uneducated he is about the Ukraine. I love Ukraine. Screw the Ukraine, man. I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, we're Americans, and here we are, and they got shit going on over there. And yeah, maybe we had something to do with a lot of this shit that happened over there, right? That doesn't mean that we should be forced to take a side here in this country. Oh, well, if you don't take Ukraine side, you're for Russia. I'm not for either one of them, right? But they both have issues, big time issues. Ukraine just canceled their elections. So what? And then people are like Piers Morgan were saying, well, Putin started the war and he's a dictator, and Zelensky did not, so he's not. And I was like, no, that both can be dictators at the same time. When you cancel elections, it comes across that way. However, we know that they've lost all kinds of money we've given them. We give them $850 billion for their stupid war that they are somehow behind, right? And then you got NATO, who is trying to bring them in, the corrupt establishment that was once here that we have to be accountable for, right? And what they've done. and breaking agreements and whatnot, and trying to make it seem like they're moving in on Russia for what? Let Russia be Russia, but in Russia. If they come here and do shit and they try to do shit here, then we'll hit them for that. They gotta go, we have to be everybody's big brother and protect them from Russia. And it's like, but what? $850 billion why Americans suffer. That and then that money's lost and it's laundered, and there's shenanigans behind the elections, and there's there's shenanigans with Biden and his family over there, and the shenanigans left and right, and people are dying on battlefields every day for this stupid shit. And I'm supposed to care about one country over another? Like, I'm with Trump. This shit just needs to end. I don't care. Nobody wins. Nobody has won that. Nobody will win that war. It's unwinnable. But yeah, I don't know. Blue, it's like I said, I don't dislike Osmond Gold, but I mean, I just don't understand why I see he's starting to do more political stuff. I'm like, I don't know why anybody would go to a guy like that for political information. He just got people on the hook and goes, no, I'm going to talk about this, right? And it's like, there's legitimate channels out there that actually know about this shit and who have actually been in the fight to free our country for many decades and committed their time and effort for no profit, right, to doing this stuff because it's the right thing to do, not because it's I can get clicks and views off this, right? It's either drama or it's some kind of weird stuff, or it's this, now they're going to get into politics. Now I'm going to play this. Now I'm going to play that. Now I'm going to act like I know some shit, right? There's a lot of people that are like that out there, man. They got a crowd. They keep them wound up with anything, and they get bad takes, like you just pointed out. Bad takes from somebody who's not educated and has a low political IQ. And I'm not saying he doesn't do a lot of other awesome stuff. He's good at what he does, but politics ain't one of them. And when these guys try to jump into the politics and analysis world, when they're really just kind of like Jeremy, right? Like Jeremy in the quartering, he's not good at this shit. He's getting better, but he's not good at it. He's really terrible at doing breaking controversial news, terrible at it. But these guys are more like entertainment dudes, right? But I don't understand what the attraction is, or why people think that this cutout is making weird faces on thumbnail is somehow the go-to to get information from. I don't get it. But yeah, he has been doing it a long time, and there is a yeah. I mean, I guess it's like he's but it's like there seems to be a cutoff point for creators. I think Jeremy's pointed it out. Like if you started past a certain point, your potential to grow is like just cut in half or cut in 3/4. Like you'll know, but as opposed to people that started way back when these people like Osmond and Jeremy and others started, right? They had a big advantage on growing their channel, where other channels struggled. That's I'm like, stick to your drama, stick to your entertainment news or your internet drama feed or whatever it is, your court feed, whatever you're doing. Stick to what you do. And let us, those of us who have dedicated themselves to understanding politics and understanding how the world works and seeing through the veils of perception that are laid out, and don't fall for stupid mind control, remedial mind control, like backing Ukraine at all costs. Let us do the big boy work, and you be there for the entertainment, and you can make all the silly faces you want to on your thumbnails, and that'll be great. And, you'll look awesome. You'll look phenomenal. See, I honestly had to block Quartering. He was ruining every movie I like. Yeah, I know, it's like that. There's people that come out there and just do that. I liked everybody had to be exposed for something. It was so annoying, right? That's the thing. Clickbait garbage drives me crazy. And that's why you guys are here. You're the base crowd. You're the crowd that shoots the bales. And that's why we're here together. And if only that was more popular, this could be a full-time thing for me. But as it stands, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But I'm dedicated to fighting, and I'm in it for a bigger cause. They can go making a fucking thumbnail, acting like I'm surprised or shocked about something. It's like who does that work on, man? Who does that work on? It's like, I don't get it. I would feel like I'm manipulating people if I did that. Peak clickbait, right? It's peak. Well, you know what goes up must come down. So maybe we're just on the cutting edge of the next thing, and that would be an awesome thing too. That'd be an awesome thing too. But I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but I needed something else to talk about. but you know, I'm not. And again, Osmond and Penguin Z, his twin brother, and you know, other people that are out there do the same gimmick. You know, they're cool, man. I'm not dogging them. I'm not hating them. I'm not punching up or no and doing anything like that. I just like when people who have one stick, right, try to get into this world right here. It's a very complicated world, and I get antsy because I feel like there's a lot of people that are subjective and already committed to them. They're already consenting to them. And it's very easy for them to mislead people. And that's like, I've said that in the past. So that's what I used to call out like during July 13th and other events, Baltimore Bridge, other things that have happened, massive news have happened. And these part-timer guys in the political or in the world events things try to think they're fucking analysts, right? And they end up misleading people and then stirring up conspiracy theories that they grift off of. So they become conspiracy grifters by proxy on this. And they think it's great. They just think it's great. And meanwhile, they sit there and they're eating steaks and they're living in paid houses and, and they're just jamming, man. They got their own product brands coming out. They got a staff. They got it all, right? Just for fucking, and on some level, whether they realize it or not, abusing people because they're not delivering the highest quality and the truth to them, right? And they're just going, oh, I got to make 5 videos today. Let's go. All right, so I'll guess at this. I'll guess at that. It's like, when you're doing shit like that, you don't have time to do a lot of real research. If that's just what you're doing, there's some people that are really good at it, and they can do that kind of schedule, right? Tim, for the most part, is pretty good. Greg Foreman, hell yeah. And these guys can sit down and bang out some videos, and they do their full thing in the mornings. They get down and they read the news. They have good takes on things because they have a background in the education of these topics, where these guys were like, okay, I'm going to make a face. I'm going to react to it. I'm going to get a catchy headline and I'm make a bunch of money. And then I don't care if I'm wrong or not. That's the whole thing. It's like, they don't care. They don't care if they're wrong about their takes. It's like that. No, I got the paycheck. That's what it's all about. And like I said, I probably do this wrong. I probably should be like those guys, right? But I won't. I can't. I got a moral base, but I'm not saying that they're immoral people. I'm just saying that they need to stay in their lanes, right? It's just, if you're entertainment, be entertainment, man. There's plenty of things out there. You made a channel on being an entertainment channel. Jeremy's got toys behind him. He's a grown man with toys behind him, right? That's what he made his channel on pop culture shit, right? And I don't know how Osmond did it, and I don't know how Penguin Z or whatever his name did it. Is the guy who I always confuse the two of them. They look the same to me, and they do the same gimmick. It's like look like guys who tried to play guitar at some point and just didn't make it. I don't know, but anyways, I digress. But as I was talking about earlier, and here's one again, I'm bringing back in a dude who knows how to get it done, is very intelligent and very smart in the space, and that's why he gets played on this channel very often. But I'm going to say, let's talk about this. Let's talk about winning. I know I want this. I want winning edge. I want to buy. Look, see this bottle? This is one of 3 bottles left in the world. Body Armor Edge. I just pulled it out tonight. I've been chilling. I chill it up. I've been hanging on to it. I got 2 left after this one, right? This is going to be called Base Grape. I want Winning Edge energy drinks. So this is the energy drink that will get you off of soda. It will. It's got great, nice even build caffeine in it, right? It's full of good stuff, no bad stuff, no bad dyes, no none of that shit. No fluoride, no, and it's made with coconut water. It's hydrating. It's got caffeine. And it's good for you. And you can get the prices I would say are 2 for $5 forever. All right, that's how I would do it. 2 for $5. You get 2 of these for $5 forever. That's how I'll never raise the price, right? I want to call this Wedding Edge, and I want to buy it from Body Armor. If I get money, I'm gonna buy this product and I'm gonna put it out. It's gonna be mine. And they can fucking take their coffee and stick it up their asses, because coffee is overplayed. And you can only drink so much of that shit in a day anyways. But this stuff is good for you. It's good for you. and it gives you that pickup you need too. And you drink about 2 of these a day, and you're good to go. You drink one in the morning, one in the evening, or whatever. That's why I say 2 for $5 a day. You can kick the soda habit. I don't even have this. This is not a paid advertisement. This isn't a real product. I'm making this up. But this is a product that went out of business, and I don't understand why. It shouldn't have gone out of business. They discontinued it, and it was the best thing going. It's because they didn't know how to market it right, and they didn't know how to work with the stores to put this in a visible spot, usually down on the bottom shelf, right? In a visible spot where people would know, hey, this is better than that soda that's killing me. Like, I should drink this instead. And this would have prospered. It had great flavors. It tastes awesome, right? And this is what I want. This is what I want, Daisy. So, maybe one day I'll get it. But this will be my go-to once I get, if I was doing like Jeremy, making his money, I don't put out 5 videos a day. I don't get ad revenue like that. I'm not a I don't have a bunch of toys to put on a shelf behind me and shit. But I'm not friends with Tim Pool. I'm not friends with anybody. And it's like, but I would go and say, okay, Body Armor Ed, sell me this. Sell me this. You don't want it anyways. You gave up on it. Sell it to me. Right? I'd take it. I'd take everything. I'd rebrand the colors. I'd redo the names. And Winning Edge would be the greatest energy drink on the planet. It would put Prime out of business. It would put all these other shit drinks out of business. It would be the shit. And we'd be selling it right here. I'd send cases to you of this stuff. And anybody who's here would get a case free from me because you're so awesome. I do it all the time. Right. And my whole campaign would be, this is your last day on soda, right? You drink this, your last days on soda. Most people want to get rid of soda. They want to get rid of it. And these poor people like Donald Trump that drink this Diet Coke shit. What are you thinking, man? That shit ain't good for you. And in fact, it makes you fat. That really does. It's the stuff they put in it makes you fat. And I don't know why they call it diet. It shouldn't be called diet. It should be called extra pounds Coke, right? And it should be called addiction soda. I would just destroy them. I would come up with so many ways to take on, and they'd be like, "We hate you," and I'd be like, "I don't care. But anyways, I could drink a lot of Folgers in a day, but then I decided to quit. I drank a cup of coffee this morning because I woke up early, and I can barely drink with 1 cup of coffee, and I get the good stuff. I used to drink it a little bit more often, and then it just put me back to sleep later. Go to good old coffee, not Winning Edge. Winning Edge is going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm telling you. That's what I would retire on that, and I would hand it off to my son and say, there you go. Serene Pickle. I say Serene. Serena, Siren, whatever. A nice cat. I love how people come here with their cats and put them in their avatars. And there you go. There's Jacob with his cat, and there's Shelly. Shelly got a cat in here to see cats. And there's a cat here too. There's a cat in there. Here a cat, there a cat, everywhere a cat. And I'm sure there's a cat getting ready to eat that hummingbird. So anyways, yeah, so back to it. Yeah, I mean the coffee, diet sodas are awful. All soda's awful. High fructose corn syrup, GMO corn made corn syrup. So you're drinking GMOs. It's corn. It's really corn soda. It's liquid candy, isn't it? Liquid candy. See, Shelly drinks mushrooms, and that's why she always be tripping. There you go. Meow, meow, meow. All right. None of my cats are nearby. I'd pick one up and put them on screen. All right. So this is a nice I'm sorry gift, Mr. President, Mr. Elon Musk. This is a nice I'm sorry gift, but that's all it is. This is not a remedy. It's not going away. And if I gotta get on a soapbox and make a bunch of noise, I will, as long as I can handle it. And I know it won't go anywhere on X or anything, but maybe somebody will pick it up and say, maybe we got to get a petition. Maybe they're going to surprise us. Because the reason why I haven't started the petition to end income tax over this shit, and started the real campaign to do it, is because I think they're going to do it anyways, right? But I got to see the conditions of it. What the conditions of it ending is. No back taxes, no taxes going forward. Employers are not allowed to take federal taxes. They can take FICA or take a Social Security or whatever out of your taxes. That's fine. I'm good with that. But no more income tax. You don't deserve it. You're not going to get it. And look, if they don't want to come to grips with that, then we just all stop paying. And that's the way we do it. And so, okay, come on. You can't get us all. If we all do it, and people have been saying this, and believe me, I'm part of the old school Ron Paul scene, man. We've been saying this for a long time. Everybody just stops. They couldn't do shit. And now we realize that had we just done this back then, they wouldn't have been able to fund all this other bullshit. Oh, the country will shut down. Everything will go wrong. No, not anymore. Not anymore. We got confidence in our administration in the White House. We have confidence. We got tariffs. Tariffs are a beautiful thing, especially if it means that they can't rip us off anymore and steal our labor, right? And every libertarian in the House goes, hell yeah, hell yeah. Every libertarian out there that said hell yeah with me, right? Because they know that tax is theft, and that's stealing our labor, and that we have a right to hold on to our labor, right? Oh my God, slippery slope guy comes sliding sideways going, oh my God, if they take the income tax, then all prices will go up and everybody will be horrible, right? Slippery slope. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Maybe if you're right, we'll go back to it. Or maybe things will be better. You know what won't happen? We won't be being abused by our own system and having our money, our labor stolen and given to other people in other countries, right? And us getting nothing back from it, nothing, but it's for more debt and higher prices and more struggle, right? And in a turbulent economy, that's what we get out of it right now. So screw you, we're going home, and we're taking our tax money with us. Anyways, this is a nice I'm sorry present, and let's take a listen. So I think we might be getting some money soon. Let's go.
Potentially giving money to Americans based on what Doge is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's
all right. To be clear, not about a dividend. So this is, but still, he's including us in the prosperity. That's a good boss. That's a good person right there. And anybody who says that Donald Trump isn't a good person is got their head up their ass and they're not hearing what he's saying right here. We're going to give you a dividend on the savings. We're going to give you money back on the savings because they've been ripping you off. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. Blue, what's up? When they cry about prices going up, I tell them, buy American, support your community. Goddamn right. Goddamn right, Blue. It's not like they're going to abolish it willy-nilly. They'll have economists and they'll work it out on paper first, unbreaded first to see if it's doable and how, and then they'll run multiple scenarios. Fuck them. How about if we just don't pay it and they can figure it out after that point? Likely the world's gonna stop. It's not. Think about all the people they've already taken money from and they owe money back to, right? Oh, just give us someone a loan. Do you get interest on that? No. In fact, you don't. You don't. You should be getting if they're borrowing money from you during the year, that you should be getting interest, because when you borrow from a bank, they take interest, don't they? When you borrow from the federal government, people with student loans, they take interest, don't they? Even if you can't pay it, they take the interest. So yeah, screw them. No more. I'm not taking any more abuse from anybody. Bring back jobs to America. Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. Able-bodied people, MJ, dropping truth. Yes, there we go. Look, T-Rex is already out there getting away with not paying property tax. He brags about it all the time. And I think the rest of us deserve that too. They should get rid of property tax too. If you own your land, you shouldn't have to pay property tax on it. And T-Rex is right for taking a stand. He's right. And we should do what he does. All right. Stop paying that shit too. Any kind of theft, man. I'm just done with it.
Great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
Trump also speaking on the wasteful spending and alleged widespread fraud Doge has found. Listen to this.
We're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's happening there is going to be one of the great potential scandals in history. On the program, there are over 4.7 million Social Security numbers from people
Winning edge
from 100 years old to 109. Think of that. Now, over 100, there aren't a lot of people that make it. Hopefully, most of the people in this room will make it.
In an exclusive interview with Sean Hannity, Elon Musk explaining the importance of his cost-cutting actions at Doge.
I really want to emphasize to people that this is a very important point. If we don't solve the deficit, there won't be money for medical care. There won't be money for Social Security. We either solve the deficit or all we'll be doing is paying debt. So it's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no Social Security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
It's important for people to understand he's doing a big job. He's doing a very thankless job. It's really a thankless job, but he's helping us to save our country. Our country was in serious trouble, and I had to get the best guy.
All right, guys, so we got to talk.
All right. So, we got to talk. Greg is coming up to give us his take on this, and you heard mine, but we'll get some more into it. First, we got to take care of some important business here. Amazing Disgrace. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I've been lurking because I couldn't respond. I'm glad you're not a dollar chasing grifter. You do deserve a good hustle, though. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is what I want right here. This is it. I'm telling you, because not only will this be great to have back, and then it should never have been discontinued, but it'll help people. And I want to help people get off soda. I want to help people get to a healthy caffeine intake, right? So that's what that's all about. It's good for you, and it's also gives you that caffeine that you want, and it's nice even. It's a nice even caffeine feeling, right? It's like it lasts. It's not like a big. It doesn't come on really fast and then drop you. It's like a nice even caffeine feel, right? So you can actually just sip on these all day long. And what I used to like to do is I like to open like 2 a day. And so I drink like half, right? This is a big old bottle, right? I drink like half of it, and I put it back in the fridge to chill it back up as I'm just sipping on it, and then I get another flavor out. So you get 2 flavors in a day, right? And you're always drinking them cold. And so by the time evening rolls around, you want to cut your caffeine off about, well, if you're smart, you cut off about 8 or 9 o'clock, right? If you're a night owl like me and other people that I hang out with, it may go on a little later, but sometimes I don't even realize I'm drinking an energy drink late at night. I'm like, oh, I got to switch to water. But no, if you do that, you avoid all the bad stuff. You get your caffeine, assistance that you need during the day for as adults that are tired and old. And also you're getting vitamins and minerals and hydration and everything you need. So I'm telling you, man, when I believe in a product, I can sell the hell out of it. And give me a winning edge, and I'll give you your health back. We'll make America healthy again together. We'll make America healthy for once in our lifetime together, and we'll put those damn soda businesses who don't care about your life out of business. We'll put them out of business. Amazing Disgrace. We'll do it. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate that, man. You're awesome. Awesome. I will be able to afford bacon again. Yes. More bacon for Roscoe. Good bacon. Uncured organic bacon for Roscoe to enjoy with his organic eggs and cooked in organic butter. See, I mean, you can do these things, right? You can do these things. You like it? No, I'm dead serious. Like they screwed up body armor. The body armor, they screwed up. They discontinued this to put out a million flavors that they didn't need, right? They discontinued it, and they should never have done that. They just didn't. They didn't do it right. They didn't put it up there and say, this is your soda alternative. You got to sell it. You got to boom, boom, boom. You got to hit it hard for many years. And you got to make sure that the 7-Elevens and the Quickie Marks and the Wawas and whatever your convenience store choice is in your state, that they don't put this shit on the bottom shelf and be like, oh, it's just another drink. In some cases, they weren't even putting these with the energy drinks. Like this should be front and center on the front row, eye level. When you come in there, and it should say soda alternative, always 2 for $1. Always 2 for $1. Like, I ain't screwing around. It's always 2 for $1. And in the, I'm sorry, 2 for $5. My bad. 2 for $5. And then they can, the stores can be a little bit more, they can be like, okay, well, we're going to make it 2 for $6. Okay. As long as you sell them in a 2 for one price kind of situation, right? That's what I want. I want people buying 2 of these at a time, and I want them to and feel like they're always going to get a good thing, right? You got a $5 bill or $6 in your pocket, you can get 2 drinks, right? Not just one shitty drink, 2 drinks, right? And then not something that's going to hurt you and destroy your teeth and your gums and your liver and your kidneys. That's just, who gets the most attention? Who gets the big logos at the Super Bowl and the sporting events? It's the crap that's killing people. Who gets we could make this so you can pour it out of a fountain. You can pour it out of a fountain, and so you can have a fountain drink of this too. I want that. I want fountain drink body on winning edge fountain drinks. I want that too. I want to compete with sodas on every level, and I want to wipe them out of business. That's what I want to do because they suck. They can jump in a lake. All right. Yeah. Yay, bacon. Yay, bacon. Winning has done some amazing streams. Talk about getting our water healthy. Yeah, that's right. Gravity filters. I want to do it. I mean, even if they take the fluoride out of the water, which they should be doing, they still need to gravity filter our water. And if they can't do it on a massive level, we need to do it at our homes. It needs to be affordable, and it needs to be a habit that we are all involved in. I've been gravity filtering my water for almost a decade and a half now. And it's not a big deal. You fill it up every few days, and you just sit there, and you just go to the spigot, and you use it to boil your water, or to do whatever you do. For the cats, for the dogs, whatever. You use water that you would normally drink or consume out of the tap. You just use the gravity filter. It's not hard. It's not hard. And we need to make this affordable for people, and we need to make them, the filters and everything, and make those more affordable. And it's better if we could have a whole system put in the house. I know some do offer that, usually kind of expensive, but we should be able to get subsidies for doing that. We should be able to get tax breaks for putting these gravity water filters in houses. Like, that's the thing. That's a trick, because they poison the water and they force medicated people, right? According to them. Of course, we all know the truth here. The truth is Edward Bernays and the lead industry is what got fluoride in the water. Right? So they can put chemical runoff into us, and we become the filters, right? Decades and decades and decades of abuse of human beings. And, oh yeah, it's good for your teeth, right? No. Yeah, it's good. So good for your teeth. And then what they do is sell us sodas. You know what I'm saying? This is solution culture I'm talking about. We're putting in root cause issue solutions to these problems these people have created. Poison water. Just because they take the fluoride out doesn't mean it's going to filter out in one go. I mean, you're going to have to, and there's other shit in there too that needs to come out. Glyphosate and estrogen and all kinds of other shit, and that comes out. You guys know how I learned about the water issue? I'm marking this right here. I'm going to come back and redraw his chats from Yay Bacon on. Okay, from winning amazing streams about water. Okay. You know how I learned about it? I was making a joke with my friends when I was in my 20s or so. I was making a joke with my friends about, a lot of them had gotten married, and they, we were always running buddies growing up and through college and everything. I was making some joke with them. They were starting to act like skirts, right? They were starting to be less and I get it and all, but they were starting to be more like feminine, I don't know, feminine, less less them and more somebody new. And I guess for some of that's just kind of coming to, making their marriages work or whatever, right? But I would say, what's in the water that's changing you guys, man? I call that dicamycin. And it was like, I was like, there's like, I think that, and I was creating this, right? I didn't know anything about this. I was just having fun. I was like, I think you guys are getting dicamycin poisoned from all the birth control being peed back into the water supply, right? I think that's what's happening to you guys. You guys are acting all weird, and I'm just kind of playing with. I'm just joking around and being a smartass, which I never do. But anyways, being a smartass, I'm talking about this made up thing called dicamycin. So I look into it, right? I don't think that I'm gonna find anything. But I'm like, well, I wonder if there is some shit. I wonder if birth control really does get into the water supply and cause estrogen increase in men, right? But do they filter it out? Do they filter for it? I was probably figured they filtered for it, right? And boy, did I find some shit out there. Did I find some shit out about what's in our water? Of course, nobody listened. But at that time, they're listening now. Yeah, so that's how I got into understanding our water was poisoned. I literally came up with a joke, and then I spawned my own curiosity into the topic, and there I was, fluoride in your water, glyphosate in your water, and off we went. I was like, and they're doing this to us, and nobody will do anything about it. And then when I raised the alarm, nobody seemed interested in doing anything about it. It's for your tape. Yeah, you've been marketed. That was Edward Bernays in the lead industry that created that diction about fluoride in water helping teeth. It's complete bullshit, and people still believe it. So yeah, if it's not already been put out there, the fluoride deception. I did a stream on it, as Daisy has pointed out. It's called the fluoride deception and seeds of death. The fluoride deception you can find here on YouTube and my stream, and this is a topic I'm seriously passionate about. All right. There you go. Bacon, a priority in my food triangle. Bacon is awesome. It's a pain in the ass to make, but it's awesome. You went to 1982 prices. I know I did. Not earlier. Yeah, no. The cost of eggs. If I had a car, I'd drive 5 hours to small organic egg farms. If I had a car instead of T3. Yeah, T3's got all the eggs you want over there in the house. Anunnaki the one is here, and Anunnaki the one gets this one.
Oh my!
I can't put it on screen because it's a Rumble rant, but Anunnaki the one, thank you for the $10 Rumble rant, man. Thank you so much for supporting me over there on Rumble, man. You're awesome. Alaska Blam, Kash Patel show is coming to an FBI near you. Oh, Alakabam. Yes. Kash Patel. I can't wait, dude. Kash, man, this is going to be so awesome. Like the news rolling in about this person and that person getting it, and this industry and that one and that, and all these people, man. It's going to be so great. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this. What do you guys think he's going to go after first? What do you guys think he's going to go after first? All right. Let me know in the chat, because we got more business to take care of. Here we go. I never get to play this one. I love getting to play this one. So thank you. MJ, thank you and welcome to the Winner's Circle. Thank you for becoming a member and supporting the channel on a monthly basis. As you see, I've already added your name to the thank you banner right there in order with everybody else. Thank you so much. And thank you for allowing me to play that awesome new members video too. Doesn't get played too much, but when it does, it's exciting. And thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Winner's Circle. I'll be thanking you every show. Thank you so much. Anaki the one says, abolish all political parties. They are unconstitutional. WFK is unconstitutional. Shut up, typo. Right? I think that's the point. It's like if we can get to a point where we weed out what does the Democrat Party offer? Like, I mean, I've talked about left-right paradigms, right? I've talked about the left-right paradigms, and I talk about the different paradigms that we have here. And the true paradigm is the establishment versus the rest of us. And if you're awake, aware, and resisting, you're part of the anti-establishment because the establishment is corrupt, right? And they're after all of us. They're after all of us. But the political paradigm, left and right, what does that really offer? That paradigm is really supposed to be based on the level of government you're willing to tolerate. And as we have seen throughout this century, that the bigger the government gets, the worse things get for everybody else. And it doesn't make things better. It doesn't make things better at all. There's no way to handle a big government. And it's an easily subverted system when you are have a big government, because you can put lots of bureaucracy in there, and you can have your deep state and all kinds of corruption. And then you can charge people their labor to fund it all, right? And that doesn't make any sense. We don't need it. Shouldn't happen. We need a good, strong military and a constitutional sized government. And that's the left-right political paradigm of America, right? And underneath that, you have this Marxist left-right paradigm. We got Free Palestine over here, and then the Nazi Patriot Front over here, the alt-right, they call them, right? They have this Marxist undertone. They're like, if you imagine them, they're like the scum level of America, right? They shouldn't be here, yet they're still here, right? They're still here, and they've abused our Bill of Rights to be here, like freedom of speech and things like that. But that underlying subversive level, that subversive paradigm that's there, right? That, whether it's the left or the right side of it, right, through cultural Marxism, has become the left, the political left of this country. And they're because they're pro-establishment. So you see how everything kind of works together, and you scale back up to establishment versus anti-establishment. That's the way the real paradigms work in this country. Of course, most people that are just kind of a flatliner or talking to the first veil, the establishment narrative kind of thing, they're just like left versus right, right? And honestly, back to your point, Anunnaki, I don't think like what purpose does the Democrat Party serve other than to be the example of what we don't want, right? I mean, that's the only purpose I see them serving. And honestly, if we were to cut out that bottom layer, right, from our society over the courses of several generations, cut out the Marxist layer, throw it out, make it a completely make it like somebody wanting to have AIDS, right? It's like having AIDS or having something, a terrible disease, cancer. It is cancer. So let's just call it cancer. Cancer, and cut that cancer out of here. What purpose does the Democrat Party serve now? We don't want big government. It's not constitutional. It doesn't make any sense. It's always been the Democrat Party's always been subversive, and they've always feigned like they're the good guys. Even in people that are in politics will be like, well, when I was growing up, they were for the little people, and they were for. No, they weren't. I never buy that shit. I never buy that they were ever doing anything good for anybody. You can trace their roots all the way back. They have never done shit except for put a mask on and play a game with people. Right. And they succeeded in that illusion, right? They have succeeded in their agenda, and look where it's gotten us. So I don't see the purpose. Hold on a second. I don't see the purpose of them existing anymore. And when you don't have a Democrat Party, why do you need a Republican Party, right? So honestly, I am with you on the party things, but then it's like, how do you discern who's going to be the leader? Well, they have to come out with American ideas and bring something to the table. Leadership, likability, uncorruptible, not bought off. These are the qualities we should look for in a leader. Someone who's going to continue Americanism forward, keep America safe and great. I think the model of a great American president has been formed by Donald Trump to a point, and then the next model of what we're looking for in a president. I really think Vivek Ramaswamy is the model of the future anti-establishment candidate, right? Understands the issues, is not beholden to any financial interest from anybody, can't be bought off, can't be bought at, and really has a good grasp on what's going on in the world. He just needs more experience, but I think he's a great model. Maybe JD Vance is the same model. I still need to see more from him. I think he's got presidential qualities. And I think that this next 4 years will be great training for him. So we'll see where he's at in 4 years. But I like JD too. But I think we have to never open up the exploitable points. Open up any loopholes, any points of exploitation that corruption can seep back into, because it's trying and it will, and it never stops. It will always persist. We'll always have to fight back against it. So good point there. And I believe in that. And when the time comes, I think that it's a good thing to do. I don't know that we're there yet, because we still got a lot of mind control victims that are out there who still buy into the establishment narrative, and we'll be fighting those people probably the rest of our lives. That's why I always promote solution culture and say that we have to take a generational approach, or we'll be fighting the same battle forever. Right? We got to take the generational approach to this war, because that's what they've taken. That's what ideological subversion has taken. Right? So we counter them on the generational level by educating subversion out of our system. Basically, that's the high level of it. Educating subversion out of our system by putting in practical educations that'll do that, like the trivium. That's my big go-to, because when you learn logical fallacies, like I was explaining with Adam Schiff earlier and other people that I'll point out, I usually try to point out the fallacies. And I do a better job at that, be a little bit more granular on that. But those fallacies, those false logics, that's how they manipulate people. It's the essence of mind control. My son's learning about this stuff right now in English, which is great to see that it's in there. It's just one little section, though. It should be a course. It should be a lot more. It should be gamified as well. It should be gamified for kids, so that they can really, really lock it in for life. And it should become part of our culture, where we don't tolerate false logic, and we don't tolerate false premises, and we don't fall for people's fallacies. If we did, all these grifters would be in trouble. They'd all be in trouble, right? People would they'd lose credibility with every fallacy they told. And not came back and corrected or learned from, or shown any kind of evolution in their mindset. And that would become the new thing. Like we want the people that are logical. We don't want the people that are, logical and empathetic at the same time, but not the people that are trying to grift us, like the UFO, Stephen Greer, David Stephen, and Jake Barber, and all these guys that are out there, this group, this SALT group or whatever they're called. But now we're trying to find out about this new age called on the UFO alien rabbit hole. These guys, right? They're all using logical fallacies to manipulate people constantly. And if we had a generation that was hip to what they're doing, they wouldn't be falling for it. And these guys wouldn't be making millions of dollars. Talk about another group of people that are getting rich off abuse. Next Wednesday on Unveiling Reality, I'm going to introduce you to a guy that I found recently who I think is, hold on a second, that I think is really doing a great job out there and exposing that stuff. Really learn dude's name is oh shit, I just had it. What is his name? Truth Seekers. I want to say Steve Cambry. Yeah, I like him, dude. I like his stuff. So I'm gonna introduce you to a guy who really went down the crash retrieval rabbit hole from way back and calls it the cash retrieval scam. He's calling out grifters too. So we're gonna see a little bit of him next Wednesday. Just to sidetrack for a second. There you go. Yeah, so that's one way that we do it, is the generational approach. Let me see here. What else we got? Damn, that's a wild thought that actually came true. What was that? I missed that. Okay. Freud and his descendants did a shitload of damage on this country. Yeah, they did. That's what happens when you let elitists take over. I always heard sunlight would neutralize fluoride. I had no idea if it was true. Hell no. No, it sucks. It sucks. I wish it would. I'm probably not too far away. Maybe I need to come get some eggs. Yeah. T3's got all kinds of eggs, at least until they eat the chickens. Let's see. I quit pork probably for about 4 years. Wasn't easy. I love bacon, sausage, smoked ham, and sandwiches, etc. Clean pork is good. It's good. Hang it out a little bit. Hey, T-Rex Trucking and More. What's up, T-Rex? How you doing, buddy? Hope you are hanging in there. Thoughts and prayers to T-Rex, y'all. Let's see. Damn it, Rumble hates her. Welcome, Arby. Hey, T-Rex. I was so excited at the confirmation. More psyched than any Super Bowl. That's awesome. That's awesome. We will cover the swearing in ceremony for sure. Should I just put him right there for a minute? All right. I feel like Greg's just waiting for me to shut up. You know, he's just waiting for me to shut up. Gundam Zig, what's up? How you doing? Tag, you're it. Watch U.S. Canuck hockey. We just took a 2-1 lead. Let it ride. Let it ride. I think the list will be the first task being released. Okay, I hope so. Yeah. I tell you what, we're gonna have some exciting times this year. We really are. And that's why I appreciate all the support you guys are giving me, because that means I can keep going with this. And I want to be able to I want to be here to cover it all. Let's see, autocorrect cats. All right. We got another one. Everybody.
Oh my.
Here's some cash in honor of Cash. 4 years to get that shit done. Let's effing go. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Arby. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh yeah, I gotta switch this over. There we go. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, man. Cash for cash tonight. Cash for cash. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? He's got a 10-year run though. He's got 10 years. Isn't that right? Didn't he have 10 years? I'll come back to Greg in a second. I want to get back to that reparations piece. I hope Cash goes after much of the COVID corruption as he can. These guys bought stock in Pfizer and then use our tax dollars to buy their products and try to force it on us. Yep, Blue Lantern, absolutely. And I hope that they get sued into oblivion. And I hope Bobby Kennedy is helping us do that, because too many injuries and no remedies. See, we need remedy. We demand remedy in this country for the assaults on us. Like, if we are assaulted and we are done wrong, we are entitled to remedy. That's the way the law works. There we go. I think Shelly might fighting over them eggs. Everybody loves eggs. Everybody wants them. The egg talk. Do you think it was Wednesday night around here? Scrolling through. Okay, we're almost back up. Almost caught up again. I'm curious if Greer and his lackeys receive government funding to be cryptos. Let Doge look into it. You know, that's interesting. But the SALT group, SALT, what was his name? Cloacus. That guy. Keep your eye on that guy. And this Ilana group, right? The one I showed last night, the one where they're all sitting around. Here, I'll pull the picture up. I'll just pull the picture up since we're talking about it. You know, I love talking about this stuff. These guys, I think their little cult just got exposed. And that's not going to be good news for them. Disclosure. There we go. These guys. There we go. Right here. Let me pull this up. I'll come back to you, Greg. I ain't forgot you. All right, here we go. Let me pull this up real quick. These guys right here. So this guy could be getting some funding. But I think these guys right here are really going to be the tell, right? So let's click into this and let's go down here to these group right here. This guy against the wall. This guy right here, right? This is the rich guy. This is the money guy. And you can see there's Ross from News Nation. There's Jake and there's Gresh. There's all of them. And who are these guys? Well, there's somebody. There's somebody's there. Yep. So there's the cult. And that's a very nice room. I mean, look at the wood. So it looks like it'd be a really fun place to go and hang out. Nice little meeting room, whatever. This is the guy right here. This dude. This guy. The Esalen Institute in Big Sur, California. Esalen. These people think they're talking to UFOs. There he is. Alex Crocus, managing partner of the SALT Fund. There you go. So if you want to do some research, see how the SALT Fund is connected to USAID. Let's see if they're getting a little bit of that little taste of that corruption in there. That's some homework we can do. Okay, here we go. That's some homework we can do for next week, right? Let's figure that out. So we're checking over here. Okay, good. Oh wait, we got more. Anunnaki the One, another $10 rumble rant. Politicians serve one purpose: to steal your rights while lying and smiling to your face. The religious leaders, on the other hand, rob your mind if it's thinking rights by fear and wonder BS. You know, that's the one thing we have to be careful of, is that we don't let that happen. In the past, what has opened the door for the corruption of the youth is fundamentalists, Bible thumpers who overdo it, right? There's a way to be moral and be based at the same time, and to not use fear tactics and other things to manipulate people into doing things, right? We have to find a way to teach people about the true nature of reality in the world without using subversive tactics. And yeah, you know, when we're younger, fire hurts, you're going to burn yourself, things like that. That's a good idea to save kids from maiming themselves for life, right? But at a certain point, we got to treat adults like adults. And, you know, and we got to let people make their own choices. We got to respect free will. You know, I don't think that the preacher on the corner telling people they're going to hell unless they repent and do whatever is what Jesus and God had in mind as far as leading people to them, right? I think that they take that idea and they pervert it in a way that's unhealthy, because now they're executing force and a coercion, and I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way to light. And I think one time we read it that the last pages of the Bible kind of speak out against being a fundamentalist. And that's the problem in other countries too. When you get too fundamentalist with your religion, you have things like Sharia law, right? And that leads to what? Murder and rape and terror and division, right? That's the things that we can't go back. We can't allow to happen. And I think that the people that wanted to divide this country, that wanted to turn people against each other and turn them away from God, turn them away from morality, I think that they took those positions of power. They intentionally took those positions because, one, they're profitable, right? And two, they're positions of power. They're like subversive elements, subversive agents, subversive people, power-hungry people, narcissistic people. They strive to get in positions of power so they can rule over people, and they can destroy systems and ideas and good things. They can bring darkness to where there's light. And I think that's what happened underneath people's eyes. These vicious preachers. We know for sure that Marxists infiltrated the black churches, you know, to start turning them against their own families and their own people, and then against whites and everybody else in general, right? And turn them to Marxism. We know for a fact that happened. So we have to be careful and never let fundamentalists take over, people posing as religious leaders to take over and to subvert morality ever again. Because demoralization is the first stage of ideological subversion. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at? What's the okay? Wow, chat's rolling tonight. Okay, got that. Cool. Got that. Daisy dozen, nice. Yard eggs, more egg talk. Baxter and dogs. I need to be okay. Dogs. I got booted, delayed. Okay, where anybody talking to me? Okay, that's cool. I love it when you guys talk with each other. Oh yeah, Greer and the Grifters. Okay, hi everybody. Okay. Okay. Hey everybody. And I thought too much of an inconvenience. I really appreciate thoughts and prayers are good vibes sent to my father tonight and tomorrow morning. Open heart surgery tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. And then, yes, indeed, we will be doing that for you, T-Rex, and more. So absolutely. Bronca compared Cash's nomination to the last Infinity Stone. Oh, that's a good analogy. I only know enough about that to know the circle is complete. Yeah, man. Sliding into home. We batted 1,000, man. We batted 1,000. I'm excited about that. And I know this crowd is as well. Check Rumble again. What do you mean check Rumble? Oh, okay. No, thank you. I got those. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this too, Anunnaki. That's going away because we all know that that's part of critical theory. Critical gender theory is part of the critical theory, which is rooted in, say it with me, Cultural Marxism. Yes, that's where it comes from. And we learned that very well in J. Michael Waller's book, Big Intel. Pick it up. It's awesome. Maybe one day he'll be on the show. We'll see. We got to keep trying. That's a salty boy right there. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I am from Iraq, was born there and stay strong. Fuck Islam. All right, dude. Welcome. Wow. Yes, there are a lot of corrupt religious leaders. There are some amazing love-filled religious pastors that help contribute to communities and forget. Yeah, you know, when they're standing in the light and they're doing the right thing, it's obvious. I'm just saying we can't go back to Footloose. That's the analogy. Or, you know, Benny Hinn, or like these jitterbug televangelists, right? We can never go back to that. We can't go back to and we should encourage street preachers not to attack people. Because you just turn people off, and then that's an easy optics to be used for subversive purposes. There is evil in this world. There are satanic cults in this world. That's not a made up thing. They are very real, and there are satanic entities in this world that's very real as well. That just means they're based on a certain belief system, right? And we need to be able to counter those with morality, and morality will stay it off. There's there's some very nasty people in this world that are very broken, that will inevitably learn how to manipulate other people into doing what they want, and subverting them and ruining them as well. So the more of us that are moral and out there, the more those people stand out. The more of them that are out there, the more they blend in, and that's the difference, right? That's how we're going to beat down that. There's this article that was going on that Dom Lucre put out about these kids on Roblox and Discord and whatnot that were we're manipulating and blackmailing other kids and doing horrible things, scaring them using fear, and it's nasty. I don't even bring it up. It's nasty shit. If you want to go look into it, go look at Dom Lucre's X account. You can find it on there. It has to do with, just look up Roblox, Discord, whatever. You can find it on there. You can see what was going on. And that was all rooted in some very evil shit. And if you look at the roots of the grooming that was going on with that, it was rooted in pure, satanic type of grooming. So these people are being groomed to be destroyed morally and brought in, and then eventually they would be put on and to do it to other people. This is a very sinister thing. So I won't go into it, but you guys can check it out. Yes, there's yep, got that. Okay, yeah, you can appreciate a society built on religious doctrine and philosophy without being religious, ultra religious. What does religious mean? Talk about that, but you can appreciate it. And it's all up to us to find out what this world's about on our own. Okay. Wow, you guys are jamming. All right, thank you, T-Rex, $2 super chat. I saw a tweet from FBI today. Shit. Nice. Thank you for the $2 super chat, T-Rex. All right, let me get back to this story, man. And I'll come back and we'll chat some more. Here we go.
Talk about a very interesting idea that has been proposed by President Trump and also Elon Musk as well, too, when it comes to what to do with the money that is saved as a result of the cuts from Doge. Okay, as you guys know, Doge is downsizing the government. They're finding waste, fraud, abuse within the government, and they're cutting out all those tax dollars being sent overseas into entities that should not receive those tax dollars. And quite literally, they are advocating to return at least a percentage of that money saved back to the American people in the form of a direct cash payment. Take a look.
And saving taxpayers billions and billions of dollars every single day. And there's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions. And we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt, which is, if you look at value, if it were a real estate balance sheet, the debt is tiny, but we still want to pay it down. Doesn't matter. And we don't look at it as a piece of real estate. It's America. We're going to get it down through intelligence, hard work, and as Elon said, a word called caring. You have to care. By doing this, Americans will tell us where there's waste. They'll be reporting it themselves. They participate in the process of saving money. So many of the men and women in this room, as an example, they pay tremendous amounts of taxes. And here are just a few examples of where your money was going before I came along. These are just some of the, just taken at random. Oh, there are much worse examples than this. I was just looking at them before the speech, and I can tell you they were much worse. And there are some that are horrible, but I don't want to really say them because they're very, very embarrassing to people. Very, very embarrassing.
Yeah, so before I get into my thoughts about the Doge dividend check, it is important to understand at least the foundation of where this idea came from, which apparently comes from Mr. James Fishback, who is an advisor for Doge. Okay, he wrote this letter outlining exactly how this Doge dividend check will work, right? He is proposing taking 20% of Doge's total savings, which would be $400 billion, and return it to the 79 million U.S. households that will be net payers of federal income tax, aka if you're living off the government, right? If you don't net pay into the system, then you're not eligible, right? You can't get it, right? So, hey, I'm just saying, if you're one of these people that can get a job, you can work, but yet you decide that you want to take the government benefits, now may be a good time to, I don't know, work more, right? Work more if you want to get this check. But anyways, 400 billion divided by 79 million is $5,000 per household, right? That's how they're framing this.
This should be called the Fishback discount. That's the guy who came up with it. It came from James Fishback, an investor who's one of the advisors to Doge. And he said, you know what we should do? When we save all this money, we should give some of it back to the American family. Let's do 20%. We hit our 2 trillion target. That'll be $5 grand each. Sounds great. Musk said, I'll take it to president. So with the president, he loves the idea. Remember during the pandemic, he wanted to sign everybody's check. It wasn't even his money. Won't be this time either. But what a great idea. Can they do it? Should they do it? Let's bring in the man who deserves the credit for the idea, James Fishback. There he is. Could you have ever imagined when you first suggested this idea that you would be here with me discussing why President Trump is saying that this is now definitely going to happen?
Well, Chris, good evening. It is a humbling and honoring day to have the president's endorsement on this idea. I'm appreciative of the credit, but I got to tell you the truth. The credit goes to President Trump. Doge, this savings would not be possible without his leadership. We put it to paper, but President Trump is going to be the one to execute it, and he deserves the credit for it.
So, James, Bill O'Reilly doesn't want the check. I want the check. I'll take his check too. I don't know how it works. But here's the thing. As you know, right, you're an investor, and when you sit at the table, people want you to underpromise and overdeliver, okay? The idea, why? Because then they're happy with the surprise. Here, isn't there a concern that setting that target of 2 trillion is way too high? And that people think they're going to get 5 grand, but now if you don't get the 2 trillion, they don't get the 5 grand.
Well, it's interesting, Chris. I don't think it's actually too high. I think it's totally reasonable. But here's the thing. The Doge dividend check that President Trump endorsed today, that is going to help us get the 2 trillion, and here's why. We're going to incentivize everyday Americans, whether they're in East Palestine or in East Baltimore, to step up and say, there's waste, there's fraud, there's abuse in my community. Report it to Doge. Why? Because the more money the Doge saves, the bigger the Doge dividend check is. Chris, look at how successful Doge has been under Trump's leadership, with just Elon Musk and a dozen engineers eating Chick-fil-A and drinking Red Bull, sleeping in the office. Now imagine deputizing 100 million Americans to be the eyes and ears on the ground.
Yeah, let's
When I
get
was
I'll
growing
be a
up, I
waste
took my
reporter. Thank you
grandfather,
for
a
that.
World War II vet, to the VA for his checkups. And I got to tell you, I saw waste, I saw fraud, I saw abuse. I didn't have Doge to report it to, and I didn't have an incentive to report it. That's not the case with the Doge dividend. Every American can step up, report fraud and abuse to Doge directly via X, and we'll see the savings go up, hit 2 trillion, and we'll see the checks dispersed next summer. And absolutely, President Trump's name and signature should be on it, because this would not have been possible without his leadership.
Yeah, and this brings me to the most fascinating part about this announcement from President Trump, which is the very predictable reflexive reaction from Democrats to be opposed to this. Take a look.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie.
He's
not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do
She's lying.
is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that
Do you think this woman has any sense at all? Like, she has no idea. She's just there to subvert people. She's not an expert in any of this shit. She has no idea what she's talking about.
those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic.
See, she's making a false comparison right there. No, it has nothing to do with the pandemic. It has to do with corruption, young lady. It has to do with corruption that you're part of and that you've benefited from. And the reason why you don't want people to like the fact that we're getting a little bit of something back from what was stolen from us is because you were one of the people that were stealing it from us. Right. And you don't want to get caught, and you're going to get caught, and you're going to be out of business. That's just the way it's going to be.
The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York.
Now you're bringing Ebola into it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Recently, and if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next two.
Oh, now she's shilling for the big pharma. She's shilling for the give me some of that big pharma money, yo. She's shilling for the chronic illness industrial complex.
3 or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence.
Oh yeah, now you're a doctor. Now she's a doctor. She went from being an economist to a doctor. She knows everything. She knows everything because because she's Jasmine Crockett, ex-stripper.
So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay,
go get her, Greg.
Again, this is fascinating, extremely fascinating that a Democrat now is coming out and saying that, hey, we're not for handing out money, but give us credit for handing out money, right? During the pandemic, okay? That is essentially the game that Jasmine Crockett is playing here, because she understands that the politics behind this for Democrats is pretty bad, right? That it's going to look really bad for Democrats to come out and say, nah. The Americans shouldn't get a $5,000 check from the Doge savings. That shouldn't happen, right? Don't do that, okay? Yeah, it's not going to look good, right? It's actually going to be bad for Democrats from a political perspective. And that is a separate
because they know their people, their base loves to be bought off. And it's not even a buy off. It's actually really just something they're entitled to, but they'll see it that way. They'll be like, they know that they love it when their party buys their base off, right? So they know they love getting money. So, but when they get money legitimately, like in the form of a dividend check, right? They're going to be like, oh, well, thank you, Mr. President, and they're going to be like, well, this ain't so bad. Like, hey, he gave me $5,000. I bought a new car. You see, they know that's the leverage they've had over these people is like, we'll give you money. We'll make sure that you have all kinds of government handouts, right? And those government handouts have come through fraud, and they've come on the backs of people like us. And that's what the fight. Well, that's great because we got a 2-for-1 now. We're buying off our base and we're causing division, right? And we're causing the destruction of the country. So that's a 3-for-1 for us, But now doing it legitimately, like, oh, no, y'all don't want that money. Y'all don't want that money. No, this is bad money. It's bad money. You want our money. You don't want them. Don't like them. Don't let them. Don't. They're just trying to get to you. They're gonna project everything that they've been doing.
analysis from whether or not I personally feel like this is a good idea. I'm just telling you guys that from a political perspective, it's just going to look bad for Democrats to stand against it, because one is going to expose the hypocrisy in some ways that, Jasmine Crockett may be uncomfortable with. Like, for example, the Trump administration, they're framing this as restitution, right? As Americans being paid back, compensated for waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay?
I mean, it's a nice "I'm sorry" present. All right, I'm with you. I know he's just explaining it. Ain't Greg doing this, but I'm pushing back against the idea that the president may think of this as compensation. It's not compensation. It's an "I'm sorry" present. That's all it is. Okay, we're sorry. Here's a little bit of something back. We're sorry. This doesn't make up for it, though. There's only one way to make up for it.
Okay, in which, Jasmine Crockett, at least when it comes to black folks, she totally believes in restitution and reparations. But for whatever reason, when it comes to this, she don't believe in that anymore.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity.
Don't
and I was
remember,
like,
huh?
I don't know.
Actually
That's not
happened?
necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about
What
actually
a racist piece of shit. That's the most racist thing that I've ever heard. Oh, now based on your color of your skin, you don't have to pay taxes. Throughout all of this that I've said tonight, have I ever left anybody out on any side, on any level, and any lifestyle, and any color, and any religion, or anybody? Have I left anybody out of this at all? No, I said we all should not have to pay income taxes. And here she is. Oh, that's great, man. Maybe black people don't have to pay taxes, right? Fuck everybody else. Fuck everybody else. That's that critical race theory programming going on, that cultural Marxism programming in her mind going off, right? Oh, that's real equal. That's real equality. Yeah, it's not, that's not even equity. That's not even equal outcome. That's just pure flat out privilege, and it's theft. And it's like, no, either we all get it, or we all hang together. We all hang together. We all hang separately, right? Either everybody gets it or nobody gets it. That's it. Sorry, there, racist Jasmine.
giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But
and we want reparations for the barbarian slave trade that lasted 5,000 years. You guys can't afford it.
Fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring
Can't afford
forth
it.
people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those.
Yeah, what I say that reparations is, you got the N-word, a word that you profit off of, that you can use. That's your reparations. You took that. You get the N-word. Give it up, and then we'll talk about. Now you'll never get reparations. Sorry.
Those checks like they got.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I want you guys to understand.
That's
reparations and restitution for Black Americans, but no
Greg's base is
restitution or reparations or compensation for the American people for all the waste, fraud, and abuse that the government.
Greg will come in here and just lay it out. He's base as can be, man. Watch him do this.
Has spent our money on, right? That is essentially the stance that Democrats like Jasmine Crockett is taking right now when it comes to this issue. So with that being said, what do I think about this whole idea, right? The Doge dividend. Well, at first, I didn't really like it, because my first thought was that, well, if this involves money printing, then this is going to be inflationary, right? This is not what we should be doing right now, considering the current inflationary environment that we're in, thanks to Biden's economy. But like most things, the devil is in the details. When I actually read the details about how they were going to distribute the money, which is something that Democrats clearly didn't do, I said, okay, this plan is a lot better than what I initially thought, or what it sounded like, okay? Because if you're talking about cutting $2 trillion, right? Saving $2 trillion and giving out a portion of it, 20% of it, to net tax-paying households, okay? So again, people who actually pay into the system. So everybody's not getting it, right? You got to be a working individual, right? Actually contributing to the system to get it, right? Which I agree with. I agree with that. Okay. But when you talk about the total savings of $2 trillion, and then you take out the $400 billion that's going to go to taxpayers directly as compensation, you still end up with a $1.6 trillion net savings, right? Which is far better, right? And by definition, less inflationary than what we currently have, right? What we're currently dealing with. I mean, and
all right, hold on a second. I got some like lingering chats out here. I didn't even see this. I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. I'm coming back to it right now. Don't you fret. Let's give you some new ones here. Thank you for the Rumble Rants. Anunnaki, the 1, 2 Rumble Rants, both $10. Here we go. $10. Winning reality. 2 kind of humans should be removed from existence in my book. In my experience of human fuckeries, they are politicians and religious leaders. Politicians serve one purpose, to steal your rights and are while lying and smiling to your face. The religious leaders, on the other hand, rob your mind. Did I read this already? I don't feel like I read those, but I didn't read those. Okay, I did read this. Sorry. Well, anyways, I read them twice. So there you go, Anunnaki. Sorry, I thought I missed those for some reason. I guess I'll have my thing off. All right, here we go. They got them read twice. There you go. They got double the bang for your bucks. That's the way we do it.
Ideal world, you would take the $2 trillion savings, if that actually happens, and you use that to, I don't know, pay down the debt. But again, if you're only using 20% of it to pay out these dividends as compensation, then that is better than the situation we currently have, right? When you're talking about, inflation, because you're still spending $1.6 trillion less than you otherwise would be spending, right? The current state right now, if you're spending the $2 trillion, will be much worse than cutting the $2 trillion and sending $400 billion of it to the American people. So when you actually kind of look at the real plan and what they actually really want to do, to me, it's like, okay, well, this is just a more efficient way of giving a tax cut, right? I mean, that's really what it is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just a more efficient way to give out a tax cut. That's what it is.
There's tax cut and there's cut tax. I'm for the cut tax thing.
Ultimately, okay? So, we will see whether or not this actually happens, because to cut $2 trillion from the deficit is going to be extremely hard, right? That's a really, really, really difficult thing to do. And they're going to have to make a lot of tough cuts. But if they can do it and then compensate the American people as well for the money being wasted, then that probably is a win, right? That definitely is a win, at the very least, because I think that most people would much rather have the money come directly to us, right? The people that actually pay into the system, than to go to some foreign country, right? Again, that's currently what the Democrats want.
Yeah,
right?
you can have the money come to us
the
by not
people,
having
that's
taxes.
bad. But give money to Ukraine,
Keep
right?
it.
Give
Instead
money
of
to
giving it
Israel.
away.
Give money to all of these social causes in Africa and all across the world, right? Give money to everybody else. Give money to the American people. No, bad, right? Terrible thing to do. Again, that's just not a place that Democrats want to be. But because of the Trump derangement, because of the reflexive, anything that Trump says, anything that he proposes, we're against it. This is what they're doing, right? This is what they're doing immediately.
Look it up,
and this
Rumble.
is why I'm
Look it up.
hoping and praying that people like Jasmine Crockett
Look it up,
rise
you
to the
guys. We're
top
counting
of
on you guys
Democrat
over
Party
there.
leadership. I hope she becomes a leader. I really do. I want Jasmine Crockett to be the face of the Democrats, because if she's the face of the Democrats, she's going to guarantee that they lose. Sometimes Democrats need to think before they react, right? Think about, okay, this proposal, like, what about this proposal is good? What about it is bad? Maybe we can align with the good, right? Maybe we can actually pretend as if we want to be a part of the conversation in regards to how this proposal is enacted. But they don't want to do that, right? It's just a reflexive rejection on anything that the president proposes, and it's putting them in very awkward situations politically, because it's not like they're opposed to handouts, which, by the way, I wouldn't even frame this as a handout, really, because you're getting your tax money back, and people who actually paid into the system are getting it back, right? So, I'm getting my money back. Me getting my money back, right, when I'm a net payer into the system is not a handout, right? That's not a handout, okay? Now, if you aren't paying into the system and you're just giving out money indiscriminately, right? Then yeah, that is a handout. Okay.
Yep. You know, and again, I go back to a thank you, Greg. I go back to a different, you know, my approach is different. It's like I'm looking at this long-term remedy, and that's great and all for now. But you've been ripping us off for lifetimes of ripped offness. And I'm sorry, one check of some dividends that you're doing some shit with now. They're saying, okay, we're going to eat all of it together. No, not unless you lock everybody up that's done it. I mean, there has to be remedy. You can't escape the remedy, dude. You can't escape remedy. It has to happen. Otherwise, we're never going to feel like justice is served. If you don't believe in justice, just say you don't believe in justice. But there has to be some kind of remedy, or justice is not served. And I believe in justice. I believe in justice, baby. All right, let's get on to this next one. It's going to take a little bit of time. And timing it out just about right tonight. Okay. I think I've said just about all I can say about that. So Dems are fighting Doge every step of the way. What business do they have lining up for the benefits of it? Yeah, you know, if you didn't want it in the first place, don't take it when it comes out. Yeah, what they want is they're losing a lot more by it being there because they're not getting their laundered money, fucking slush funny, funded, crazy, taxpayer stolen money, right? Not getting all that.
Tim Pool snap.
All right. I hope this is just him, right? Okay. Yeah, it's just him. All right. It's kind of a long. It's one we really need to dig into. I want to see what's going on here with this. Make sure this is on this. All right. Guys, Agenda 2030 laws in West Virginia. States are banning the right to work. What happens in one state happens to us all. Let's take a look at this and see how these people are trying to implement this. And you should look out for it in your states as well. Like I said, once we won the election, our fight wasn't done. We're accomplishing our goals as we go here. But one of our big goals is we have to stop Agenda 2030. We haven't forgotten about that, and neither have they. Now, has been made a lot harder for them to accomplish it. Yes, but there has been damage done, and we must undo the damage. Must roll it back, and we must prevent it from ever happening. The ideal situation is the cancellation of Agenda 20, the cancellation of it, as in throw it out. We're not doing it. That's where we got to get. Not pushing it down the road, not calling it Agenda 2045 or whenever we can steal back power in America, right? Because this affects the world. It's not just us. It's affecting the world. We are just the primary target of this. And we are also the primary funder of this too, by the way. So that's the reason why it's in our hands to take care of it. But even though this is going to focus on West Virginia, let's pay attention because it's probably happening in your state too. So let's go.
Apps over Agenda 2030 laws in West Virginia. States are banning the right to work. This video got near 400,000 views, and I've got some updates for you as to where we are currently at. And as there's no real written articles about it, I just pulled up our post from timcast.com.
Let's go.
And I'll explain to you possibly one of the most important stories that is being overlooked, which I've discussed, and of course directly involves me and has me particularly angry. I will die on this hill, my friends. They are banning across the country the right for individuals to work for themselves. Joe Biden tried implementing this with the PRO Act. Libby Emmons pointed this out. I've got an article breaking down how Joe Biden, while he was president at the federal level, tried to make it illegal for you to choose to do work unless you have government permission or work for a corporation. Where we are today right now is that most states, around 34, have implemented these laws because they failed at the federal level that make it so if you are an individual, you cannot do work. I'm not exaggerating.
That goes right along, and this is why it's 2030. That goes right along with you'll own nothing, right? Because now you're not allowed to own your own labor. See, this is in that you'll own nothing category. Have a good night, Arby. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel in all the ways you do. And you have a great night. Sleep well and have a great tomorrow. We'll see you soon. So this is again, this is part of the you'll own nothing category of you'll own nothing and be happy Agenda 2030. This is another way that they chisel away your property and your rights and your labor, your right to your own labor even.
In West Virginia, we've had some of the local politicians say the law they passed in 2021 actually makes it illegal for a kid to mow his neighbor's lawn. Indeed, it does. They put, and when I say illegal, it's not like it's a criminal activity. It's a civil penalty, meaning they are coming to us right now in West Virginia, demanding we pay them despite the fact we've met the criteria of their law, because the purpose of the law was not to be fair. It was to crush anyone who tried to freely engage in commerce. Let me give you the quick version so you can understand where we're at, and then I'll break down for you what these laws are. They're called Uber laws. As they began to emerge around the time Uber came into existence, unions and other Democrat institutions began pushing for laws that reclassify independent contractors as employees. The argument made by Democrats is that you're just trying to hire employees without paying benefits. We got you now, Uber. No, actually, what Democrats are trying to do is make it.
It's called being a contractor. And contractors live with that every day and every level of employment.
So that anybody who works has to get permission from the government, meaning in 20 or 30 years, I don't know, I say young man, a 30-year-old man who's born today, he wants to make money. He wants to build birdhouses or write music, or I don't know. He wants to be a reporter. Can't start your own company.
Is that what you do? It sounds like he just described himself, didn't it? Does Tim build birdhouses? He must have built a birdhouse today because he thinks he plays music, and he does. He plays music. He's better than Ian. He's a journalist. He's a reporter. So there you go. I think he just described himself.
Company can't accept money because that would be illegal. Well, what do you mean? You have your own news brand under your name as an independent reporter. No, you have to file with the government for a permit for a business, for an LLC, get permission to operate, then you can start selling your product. Or you can apply for employment under that company, fire all other clients, and work for one company. What do you mean none of those are options for you? Too bad you can't work. Here's how it should be. You're an individual. You can do work. You go to another person and say, hey, I'd like to do a service for you just for the day. And they say, okay, here's some money. Thank you for the service. Illegal in West Virginia. And I got the receipts. Now, the arguments they'll try to make are, no, Tim, you're misunderstanding. The law clearly has a caveat. Well, I've got the laws for you. I'll break it down for you. And I'll tell you what they're doing to us.
All right.
Agenda 2030 laws. The reason I say this is because the end result is you will live in the pod and you will eat the bugs. That is the plan for what they're doing with all of these laws, particularly with the PRO Act. This is from 1 year ago. This is from the American Legislative Exchange Council breaking down the PRO Act and why it's not pro-worker. This is important because this was a federal level action, which would have made independent contracting illegal. And the corrupt unions are pushing this because they want to force. Here's how it works. You want to be an independent contractor? Sorry, you can't. They've banned it. Okay, want to start your own business? Do you have $1,000 to file, get a registered agent and do it? You don't? You're broke? Too bad. Well, you can ask someone to hire you. Oh, here's a company. They're unionized. You have to join the union. No right to work in this state. You can come and work for this supermarket, but they have a union and you got to give the union a cut of your money. Holy crap. I am so angry about this. When I got a job at Jewel Osco at 16, they told me, if you want to work here, you have to join the union. And I said, I don't want to join the union. They said, you have no choice. We are required to have all employees in the union. And I'm like, so how much of my money do they take? I don't remember how much it was, $30 a month or something, but I was barely making any money. When I worked for O'Hare, they forced me to join the Transportation Workers Union. I didn't want to. They said, if you don't join the union, you can't work for this company. That is evil. These people are evil. I'm so pissed off. You have no idea. So here's ultimately what happens. We get an audit I probably should be saying a lot of this, but I'm going to tell you, let's spill the beans. And we're like, what's going on? Like, we don't do anything. Like, everything we do is rather mundane. We have tax attorneys, corporate lawyers, and we have accountants. They do all the filings for us. Sure, whatever. It's real expensive dealing with an audit because we got to pay our lawyers for their hours. We do. They tell us we're not legally allowed to have talent contracts. Well, how does that make sense? We're a media company, high profile, with tens of millions of views per week. What do you mean we can't have talent contracts? The whole thing is talent. Nope, illegal. They have to be employees. Same time, you can't have them. You can't have them as employees because they're talent. So that's it. I guess we shut down. West Virginia is running these super corrupt laws. I'm told because for the longest time, West Virginia was a Democrat union state because of the coal mines and all that. The unions want to force you to join the union because they get a cut of all of your money, whether they help you or not. Now, I like collective bargaining. I have no problem if people come together and say, we want to negotiate. That's totally fine. But this is what they're doing at the federal level. Let me give you some context on the PRO Act, and then I'm going to talk to you at a personal level and break all this down. So a year ago, they said the PRO Act would impose California-style regulations on independent contractors that severely restrict workers' ability to keep their current work status.
Yep, don't let it
This
happen.
ignores the fact that almost 80% of independent contractors prefer their current work arrangements, and that according to Mercatus Center research, California's reform resulted in a significant decline in self-employment and overall employment. Conversely, ALEC's Uniform Worker Classification Act, one of ALEC's essential policy solutions for 24, helps protect independent contractors' classification and workers' rights to set working relationships that work best for them. Let's start here. Let's say that you are a news writer. This is the easiest example. I know I've given it before, and probably in this video, but let's rehash it so you can get the context. You write news articles. Libby Emmons of the Post Millennial, frequent guest on Timcast IRL, was mentioning that she used to write freelance for a variety of outlets. First, let me just say, we have lost three individual talents over this law. Once they came to us and said, you can't do it, I said, okay. We went to the talent and said, here are the requirements and the restrictions the state has imposed, and they all said, we quit. And I'm like, great. So let me tell you. Let's say you write articles. You're an individual who likes to write news articles on sports, video games, and politics. So you go to a company and they say, look, we really don't need to hire anybody right now, but I really do like those articles. How about this? You want to write 2 articles for us, per week, or you can just submit them. We'll buy what we can. And say, I'll send you the articles whenever I have them. Now, 2 articles might net you $50 to $100. You're not really worth that much money. Certainly, you're not living off that. So then you go to another company and say,
Alrighty. Tim, you've done too good of a job explaining it. We've done a great job here at night. Yeah, tired of the Jeremy Doran crowd bitching about capitalism when almost nothing is in this economy resembles a free market. Not yet. We're working on it. People that work for strong unions are happy because it functions like the mafia. Yeah, and it's as Yuri points out, it's a desirable target of subversion because it's an unelected position of power. You can just shut down industries just by going on strike, Yeah. So it's always questionable. That's why you see it generally on the far left. And not to mention that all those people sitting on the bench not working at the bench, they can just be put in picket lines. We found all kinds of people in picket lines for decades. They call them the union people sitting on the bench. What are you doing out here? I don't know. I was told to come out here and hold the sign. Creating optics for the corrupt establishment you are you? Huh? Yeah, exactly. And they just do it because they're going to get that money. Ladies and gentlemen, you can hear more about that from Tim Cass. It's a long piece he has because Tim is on his soapbox about it. But you know what you can do? If you're on the Rumble side, you can go over there right now and represent Running Reality. There's 14 of you, but we're going to raid Tim Cass IRL on Rumble tonight, and that's confirmed. So let it happen. I'm going to be busting on out of here a little early tonight, but I think we covered everything. I think we had a great time. Tomorrow night I'll be back with even more, and we're going to go through some of the press conferences, some of the different talks that have been out there. I got stuff from all kinds of places and things and people and all kinds of stuff like that. And I want to say that I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting the channel, being here on a nightly basis. If you're on YouTube, you will be going over to Good Logic. He may or may not say anything, but that's fine. I just, I know that my crowd likes Good Logic crowd. So YouTube, you're going to Good Logic. Rumble, you're already probably on your way over to Tim IRL. Make fun of Ian's hair, please. All right. And his right hand on the guitar, because it doesn't, it's terrible. It's like, no. It's the worst right hand ever. All right. But anyways, have fun wherever you go and whatever you do. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I will be back tomorrow night at 7:45, 8ish, somewhere around there for Winning Tonight, Friday edition. And we'll be taking on the establishment. I hope that we have the confirmation. I mean, not the confirmation, the swearing in ceremony of Kash Patel and what he has to say. I think that's tomorrow. I'm praying that it is. Otherwise, practice your karate, get tough. And you guys, thank you again. I appreciate it. So until tomorrow night at some time late in the early evenings, that's 7:45 Eastern. Everybody out there, stay based and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.